Ẹ káàbọ̀ dádì.
Ẹ kú wájú.
Ẹ ṣeun gan ni sà. Handsome young man mi ń kọ́ sá o àti Tọ́pẹ́ àti àdúrà sà.
Àlàáfíà ni gbogbo wa wà. Ẹ ṣé gan.
Ọlọ́run àlàáfíà kò ní fi yín sílẹ̀ o.
Àmín 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 lọ́wọ́ Olúwa.
Ẹ kúrin ọjọ́ sí. A máa kí yín lórí ètò. Èmi àti Dr. Mike a kí yín ní ọjọ́ Sátidé torí a rí yín tẹ̀ ń jó pẹ̀lú ìyàwó.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni. Ẹ ṣeun. Ire á kárí gbogbo wa.
Àmín o, àmín Jésù, àmín Jésù.
Ẹni ẹlẹ́ni ò ní gbà ṣe wá ṣe.
Àmín, 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 àṣẹ, àmín lá lórúkọ Jésù. Ẹ ṣé gan ni sà, mo ń gbìyànjú láti pín ètò ni sà, a máa tó. Ẹ káàbọ̀, ẹ ṣé gan ni mọ́mì. Ẹ káàbọ̀ mọ́mì Rẹ̀mí Ọ̀ṣùgbọ́yè.
Ẹ kí yín o, mọ́mì ẹ káàbọ̀.
Dádì ńkọ́ Túndé ìyàwó wa àti Olúwatósìn. Ẹ bá wa kí gbogbo wọn mà. Ẹ ṣé lọ́pọ̀lọpọ̀ mà. Dádì tẹ́ bá ti free níbẹ̀ yẹn sà, ẹ máa ṣíwájú wa nínú àdúrà. Mo ń bọ̀ wá, à ń pín ètò ni o. Kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀? Mo ń bọ̀ wá o. Okay. A rí picture yín mọ́ sà o.
Hello.
A rí picture yín mọ́ sà.
Okay, ẹ jẹ́ kí n log in. Má padà log in.
Okay sà. Okay.
Okay.
Ẹ ṣé gan ni.
Complaint wà lórí tape yìí ó ṣe díẹ̀, mi mọ̀ pé wọ́n ti disconnect power ẹ̀.
Okay.
When the battery ti run low ló ṣe shut off.
Bí mo ṣe fẹ́ pè yín ni mo rí yín tẹ wọlé padà. So ẹ jọ̀wọ́ ẹ ṣíwájú wa náà àdúrà sà.
Bàbá wa ní orúkọ Jésù. Olúwa Ọlọ́run alágbára, a dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ yín, wá fi hàn lókun forúkọ yín, ẹ gba ọpẹ́ wa.
Àmín.
A bẹ̀ yín pé kẹ́ darapọ̀ mọ́ wa ní wákàtí àti nígbà gbogbo, Ọlọ́run má ṣe fi wá sílẹ̀.
Àmín.
Gbogbo ọ̀rọ̀ tá a sọ lónìí lágbára ń jùlọ, ẹ jẹ́ kí ẹ̀mí yín kó ṣe olùdarí wa.
Àmín.
A fi gbogbo àwọn yín wá lé yín lọ́wọ́, Ọlọ́run ẹ gbọ́ àdúrà bàbá, ẹ gbọ́ àdúrà ìkọ̀kọ̀ wa.
àmín,
ẹ ṣàánú fún wa Ọlọ́run, ẹ bójú wò wá kẹṣẹ wa lóore,
àmín,
ẹ gbé ìmọ́lẹ̀ ojú yín sí wa lára kẹgbà wá là,
àmín,
gbogbo ọfà ayé, gbogbo ìbọn pètèpèrò ọ̀tá lórí wa, lórí ayé wa, lórí ìran wa, lórí àwọn ọmọ wa, lórí iṣẹ́ wa, Ọlọ́run bá mi sọ di asán
àmín,
ní orúkọ Jésù. Ẹ̀san tó tọ́ Olúwa bá mi sọ fún olùfisùn.
àmín,
aláya ọmọ yìí
àmín,
yẹ forúkọ yín tí ayé ní orúkọ Jésù ní àgbàdúrà.
àmín, àmín, àmín ní orúkọ Jésù. Ẹ má bínú o, ṣé ẹ rí mi ṣá?
Ẹ̀mí mò ń rí yín, ṣẹ́yìn náà rí mi?
No, okay, okay. Ẹ ṣé gan ni, èyí tẹ́ ẹ wíyàn arọ tí rọ mọ́, ẹ ṣé gan ni sà. Mò ń bọ̀ wá o, bàbá ẹgbẹ́, bàbá mi, ẹ̀gbọ́n mi àtàtà, mò ń bọ̀ wá. Kó tó dìgbà náà, a kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin aráalé pé ẹ káàárọ̀, ẹ káàsán, ẹ kúrọ̀lẹ́, ẹ káalẹ́, bí ojú ọjọ́ bá ṣe rí lọ́dọ̀ tí yín, gbogbo bí tí gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá, ọmọ Ògùn adúláwọ̀, gbogbo bí kí àtọmọ orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà lápapọ̀, gbogbo ibi tí oníkálukú wa bá wà, a kíwa o pé a kú dédé àsìkò yìí, a kú bẹ̀rẹ̀ oṣù tuntun, oṣù ayọ̀, oṣù dùnnú, oṣù lọ síwájú, ìgbéga ló máa jẹ́ fún gbogbo wa ní gbogbo ọ̀nà. Orúkọ tèmi kò yí padà, fún àǹfààní àwọn tí wọ́n ṣe ń darapọ̀ mọ́ wa fún ìgbà àkọ́kọ́ ní orí ìkànnì yìí. Tẹ́ bá ń gbọ́ Ìyálájé Global Talk Show, Ìyálájé Global Talk Show ní orí YouTube, èmi ni. A dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ń bá wa subscribe. Tẹ́ ẹ bá ti subscribe, ẹ bá mi lọ́bẹ̀. Ìyálájé Global Talk Show YouTube. Tẹ́ bá kúrò ní ọ̀dọ̀ mi, ẹ bá mi yà lọ sí ọ̀dọ̀ ọ̀gá mi, ọ̀rọ̀ lẹ́yẹ ń gbọ́, Dr. Michaela, àwọn náà ń jẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀. Bí ẹ ṣe ń ṣe léyìí, lágbára lọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run, ọwọ́ tẹ́ fi ń subscribe, ẹ máa fi ọwọ́ náà ṣe ohun tó dára. Ẹ ṣe lọ́pọ̀lọpọ̀, amóore o. Ẹ jẹ́ kí wá bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní kí wa bí n bá ṣe rí orúkọ wa ní bíbá. Ìyá wa Rẹ̀mí Ọ̀ṣúgbòyè, ìkúnlẹ̀ mi rèé mọ́mì, ẹ ṣe gidigidi gan ni mà. Ẹ kú gbogbo gbà, gbogbo lẹ́ńkọ́, dádì Babátúndé, Olúwatósìn àti ìyàwó wa, ẹ bá wa kí wọn o, ẹ ṣe lọ́pọ̀lọpọ̀. Àjọṣe wa kò ní bàjẹ́ o, a dúpẹ́.
Àmín Elédùmarè, ní àṣẹ.
Ó dà pé ẹ̀yin nìkan ni mo sì rí orúkọ yín ní orí lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ báyìí. Táwọn èèyàn bá ti ń darapọ̀, tá a bá ti ń rí wọn, a máa kí wọn. Kó tó dìgbà náà, a kí ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wà ní orí ètò ṣùgbọ́n tẹ́ comment, a dúpẹ́ o, ẹ ṣé gan ni. Mo wá lọ a kí Dr. Michaela jùlọ pọlọ pé ẹ kú iṣẹ́ ọjọ́ Sátidé, ẹ kú iṣẹ́ gbogbogbà, ẹ kú iṣẹ́ tara yín, ẹ ní jábọ́ o lágbára Èdùmàrè. Gbogbo nǹkan tẹ́ ń ṣe ojú òní tì yín, ẹ ní mọ̀kòrò lórí aya, lórí àwọn ọmọ yín àti ẹ ṣé. Mo wá kí bàbá ẹgbẹ́, ẹ káàbọ̀ lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí ẹ̀gbọ́n mi, bàbá mi, ìkúnlẹ̀ mi rèé o, mo kí yín.
Ẹ ṣeun, ẹ kú àpọ́nlé dídé mà.
Ẹ ṣé gidi gan ni, ẹ ṣé gidi gan, ẹ kú gbogbo gbà, ẹ kú àdúrótì. Kí ni màá jẹ tí màá fi gbàgbé, Ọlọ́run ò ní jẹ́. Ẹ ṣé lọ́pọ̀lọpọ̀, ojú òní tì yín láéláé lágbára lọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run. Àrídùnnú yín kò ní bàjẹ́ láṣẹ Èdùmàrè. A rí yín ní ọjọ́ Sátidé, kódà kí yín gan ní orí ìkànnì wa níbí. Gbé bàbá ẹgbẹ́ àti mọ́mì náà, a rí wọn tí ẹ dìjọ ń jó, tí pẹ̀lú ìyàwó, a rí pé ẹ fọmọ fọ́kọ. Adéṣínà ni, ẹ̀yin náà ṣerú ẹ̀ fọmọ lágbára lọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run. Ẹ máa fọmọ fọ́kọ, ẹ máa gbéyàwó fọmọ. Wọn ò nífẹ̀ẹ́ lòmíì ṣe yín lọ́jọ́ ẹ̀yẹ yín o, lágbára Èdùmàrè o. Àwọn tí wọ́n ṣègbéyàwó náà, bí wọ́n ṣe ń bẹ̀rẹ̀ ìrìn àjò tuntun, Elédùmarè á bá wọn rìn o, á ṣe wọ́n lọ́rẹ̀ẹ́ ara wọn kalẹ̀ o, lágbára Èdùmàrè. Ọlọ́run máa dáàbò bò wọ́n, lágbára Ọlọ́run. Lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí, ẹ káàbọ̀ sí orí ètò yín, ètò wa. Ẹ bá wa kí àwọn ará ilé sà ká tó tẹ̀síwájú.
Lákọ̀ọ́kọ́ náà, a dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run. Ọlọ́run ẹ̀mí gbogbo ènìyàn, Ọlọ́run ẹ̀mí àwọn wòlíì, Ọlọ́run tí ń jẹ́ èmi ni kó gba ọpẹ́ wa. Àpẹẹpẹ kó darapọ̀ mọ́ wa, kẹ́mi rẹ̀ kó tọ́ wa sọ́nà. Kó tan ìmọ́lẹ̀ kí òkun kó mọ̀ ṣe nípa.
Àmín o.
Mo kí yín Alájẹ pé ẹ kúṣẹ́.
Ẹ ṣé gan sà.
Ẹ kú iṣẹ́ takuntakun, kò ní sú yín, kò ní rẹ̀ yín.
Àmín.
Gbogbo ìbéèrè yín níwájú Ọlọ́run, òṣèlú kí ó fi lé yín lọ́wọ́, amúnú yín náà.
Àmín.
Ẹ ò ní ṣìṣe.
Àmín.
Ẹ ò ní ṣubú fọ́tayọ̀.
Àmín.
Ẹ ò ní ṣubú dànù.
Àmín.
Gbogbo ohun tó ń jẹ ti yín àti omi àti eléyìí tí ò mí, Ọlọ́run á tọ́jú wọn.
àmín Jésù.
àwọn aláyọ̀ nílé iṣẹ́ níwọ̀ sí.
Àmín.
Mo kí gbogbo wa káàbọ̀ sórí ètò. Mọ́mí Ọ̀ṣunbóyè, ẹ ṣé gan. Thank you so much. It's nice to see you too. Love always. Ẹ bá mi kí Ella dáadáa. We love her.
No, àwọn kọ́ ni Ella o. Àwọn kọ́ ni Ella sá o.
Ẹ má bínú.
Àwọn tèmi lọ́dọ̀ wa ń bí báyìí nìyẹn.
Ẹ má bínú, mo tọrọ àforíjì. But Mọ́mí Ọ̀ṣunbóyè, thank you so much because you've been very consistent and very, very regular. Thank you very much for the support. Ẹ ò ní dáṣayé. Lágbára náà ní dáṣayé. Gbogbo ohun tó ṣe dín ló máa jẹ́ kó yàn kó yanjú. We thank you and we welcome you. Gbogbo àwọn tá ń darapọ̀ mẹ́tò náà la kí káàbọ̀. A kí yín káàbọ̀ lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí pé ẹ ṣeun ẹ kú àdúrótì. Ẹ̀yin náà ò ní dáṣayé o. Gbogbo tẹ́ bá ti ṣe yóò mọ yọrí sí dáadáa ni. Àwa bẹ̀ yín ẹ má bá wa subscribe, ẹ bá wa pín kí ètò náà kó kárí ayé. Mi ò ní ṣaláì kí Dr. Mike Ọlá ibikíbi tẹ́ bá wà, ìpè ayọ̀, ìpè àlàáfíà, ìpè ìdùnnú àpè yín o. À ń dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ yín ni. Òòṣà bá wa dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ yín o. Àti yín ojú òní tì yín. Gbèrè tìjú, àṣeyẹ lálákànmọ́ṣepọ̀, ẹ ó ṣe láṣeyẹ. My regards to your family. You know, the Lord protect and bless every one of you. Your heart as well. Gbogbo ohun tí ẹ̀yin àti alájẹ́ sì ń ṣe, tí gbogbo àjọ ń ṣe lórí ọ̀rọ̀ pé kí àwa ènìyàn dúdú, kí ìran wa kó má di àfọwọ́rọ́ sẹ́yìn, káwa náà ká lè kúrò lórí àkìtàn, bá ọmọ aládé jókòó, torí ìran aládé ni wá, k'Ọlọ́run Elédùmarè kó gbà wá kò nínú oko ẹrú. Gbogbo iṣẹ́ tẹ́ wá ń ṣe yìí, èrè ibẹ̀ Ọlọ́run á jẹ́ kẹ́.
Dádì ẹ̀gbọ́n wọn ní kò sí, wọn ò gbọ́ wa. Ẹ gbọ́ ṣẹ́ gbọ́ wa, ṣẹ́ ń gbọ́ mi sà? Ṣẹ́ ń gbọ́ mi?
Èmi ń gbọ́ yín.
Wọ́n láwọn ò gbọ́ wa. Mọ́mí rẹ̀ mi ṣẹ́ ń gbọ́ wa. Ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ẹ jẹ́ ká mọ̀ mà. Mọ́mí Yẹmí Folúkẹ́ sọ pé àwọn ò gbọ́ wa. Ẹ kúrọ̀lẹ́ mọ́mí. Bóyá nǹkan tẹ́ fi ń gbọ́ wa ni mà. Ṣé bẹ́ẹ̀ ń gbọ́ mi?
Mo ń gbọ́ yín clearly.
Okay sir. So ọ̀dọ̀ mọ́mí ni ẹ tẹ̀síwájú sir.
Ẹ ṣeun. So mo kí gbogbo wa pé ẹ ṣé ẹ kú àdúrótì, Ọlọ́run á gbọ́ àdúrà wa. A kí wa káàbọ̀ sórí ètò yìí. Gbogbo ohun tí a wí lónìí k'Ọlọ́run kó jẹ́ kó so èso rere fún wa àti fún ìran wa. Gbogbo tó iṣẹ́ tààrẹ olúkàkú wa dẹ̀ ń ṣe lágbára Ọlọ́run, k'Ọlọ́run jẹ́ ká kéré rẹ̀ ní ìlọ́po ìlọ́po, torí ẹyọ kọ̀ọ̀kan báyìí ni àgbàdo máa ń wọnú ilẹ̀, ìgbà ọmọ ló máa ń gbé jáde. Ní hòhò àgbàdo sì ń wọlé nítòótọ́, ìgbà aṣọ ló máa ń ró jáde. Gbogbo eléyìí tá a bá gbìn lónìí k'Ọlọ́run jẹ́ ká ká lọ́nà ìgbà nínú ayé wa. Àwọn tó bá ń ṣe burúkú ká má ṣe àmì irú àdúrà tá a gbà yìí o. Ẹ ṣé, a kí wa káàbọ̀ sórí ètò lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí. ẹ ṣé.
Ẹ ṣé gidi gan ni sà, ẹ kú ohùn. A máa bẹ̀rẹ̀ láti ọ̀rọ̀ tó ń lọ lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ tó ń rìn káàkiri gan. Gbogbo èèyàn ló ń ganu sí, gbogbo èèyàn ni wọ́n ń gbẹ́ni sí máì. Nípa bó ṣe lọ ní pẹ̀lú orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà àti orílẹ̀-èdè Amẹ́ríkà.
Ẹ ṣeun.
Ká tó tẹ̀síwájú, bóyá kí n kọ́ táwọn aráalé kọ́ gbọ́ eléyìí náà sà, ká tó tẹ̀síwájú sà.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni mà.
Okay sir.
To go to war on Nigeria a day after designating the West African nation a country of particular concern over the killings of thousands of Christians there. Stephanie Bennett is live in London with more on this. Stephanie.
Hey, John. Yeah, the president has been very vocal in the last 24 hours on Truth Social. I want to read you just a couple excerpts of one that came out 5 minutes ago. The president said, quote, "If the Nigerian government continues to allow the killings of Christians, the USA will immediately stop all aid and assistance to Nigeria and may very well go into that now, quote, disgraced country, guns a-blazing," he says. He is then hereby instructing our Department of War to prepare for possible action. And he also says in that post, warning the Nigerian government better move fast. Now, yesterday, the president posted also on Truth Social announcing that he was going to put this country as the country of particular concern, saying something must be done. He's now asking Congressman Riley Moore, Chairman Tom Cole, and the House Appropriations Committee to look into it and to report back.
I think this is going to make a huge...
Oh, sorry, sir.
Difference, and we're going to get right to work on this and get to the bottom of what's happening and give President Trump a full menu of options that we can use to try to stop these killings.
Yeah, and Moore says there's about 15 possible options, including suspension of security assistance and targeted sanctions. Nigeria is, of course, considered one of the most dangerous places in the world to be a Christian, according to the well-regulated Open Doors International Group. Over the years, thousands of Christians have been killed in churches, schools, and entire villages have been burned. Some even brand it a genocide. The Nigerian government vowed today to keep fighting violent extremism and said it hoped Washington would remain a close ally. But some analysts blame the country's inability to protect its citizens over that wide spectrum of armed groups that operate across the country, including Boko Haram.
I think fundamentally Nigeria is a failed state. Corruption is simply out of control. So are the kinds of resources that should be there. It is a major exporter of oil, so it should be a rich country, but a lot of it gets diverted through corruption. So they don't have the resources in order to provide their security forces what they need in order to fight back.
And in order to combat this issue, earlier this year, Washington approved $346 million in arms for Nigeria. Back to you, John.
All right, so.
Okay, sir. Ẹ ṣé, sir.
Ẹ ṣeun. Ṣé ká tẹ̀síwájú?
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni, sir. Oh, yes. Bẹ́ẹ̀ni, ká fi yan bẹ̀rẹ̀, sir.
Àkọ́kọ́ mo kí gbogbo wa káàbọ̀ sórí ètò lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí. Ọlọ́run á pẹ̀lú wa o.
Àmín.
Kọ́lọ́run kó jẹ́ ilé ìtàsọ̀ ìkọ́lọ́run jẹ́ kó so èso dáadáa.
Àmín o.
Ẹ jẹ́ ká mú lẹ́sẹsẹ. Mo fẹ́ bẹ̀rẹ̀ láti ìlú Ìbàdàn. Ọ̀rọ̀ mi dá lórí Tani Ọlọ́run tá jí gbé nílùú Ìbàdàn. That crosses state lines nílùú Ìbàdàn láti Ìbàdàn, Ọ̀yọ́ state. Ó cross Ọ̀ṣun state. Wọ́n gbé lọ Kwara on allegations alleged crime was a bailable offense. An offense still ní pé kò sí pé bailable on personal recognition is a social media celebrity in his rights. Tani Ọlọ́run ní time yẹn. So based on self-recognition and identity and based on facts that they know his address and what he does, should be somebody. He should not even have left Oyo State. He should have been charged. Where was the venue of the crime? We will to commit the crime. Ṣé Kwara ló lọ ní tó ti lọ ṣe show tó ti lọ commit the crime yẹn ni? Abortion state ló wà tó ti commit the alleged crime tán ló commit. He was in Ibadan. They removed him from the location. So without jurisdiction, Ilorin took over that case. Those lawyers, those judges in that place, people should record their names down for Jawaju. Let us start from that. When they kidnapped Tani Ọlọ́run, Asolori Kani, pé gbogbo yín go on. Ṣé gbọ́ kí governor bá Ọ̀yọ́ state kó sọ̀rọ̀?
Ó ti sir.
Ṣé governor Ọ̀ṣun sọ̀rọ̀?
Ó ti sir.
Ṣé governor Kwara sọ̀rọ̀?
Ó ti.
Ṣé chairman local government Tani Ọlọ́run? Local government gangan bí tó ti jáde tó ti wá jí gbé ṣé wọ́n sọ̀rọ̀?
Ó ti sir.
Police station Ọ̀yọ́ state ṣé wọ́n sọ̀rọ̀?
Rárá,
Nobody said nothing. And it was all in the news. Especially in the social media, because the Nigerian major news, the main media, will probably put it in third, fourth pages or just mention something briefly without saying much. So, this is the dilemma of our people.
Mo wà lórí ètò. Sir. Okay, sir.
So, this is where the lives of the citizens goes in Nigeria, where a situation will happen, nǹkan ó ṣẹlẹ̀, àpèyàn ní ọmọ onílùú, ọmọ onílẹ̀, wọ́n ní ọmọ onílùú kì í jẹ́ kí ìlú ẹ̀ ò tú. Tó ṣe bí orúkọ ìkan náà bàbá wa lórí òkè àbí lórí òkè. Ọmọ onílùú la pè èèyàn. Ẹ wá jí gbé. Ṣé ẹnìkan lè jí any American citizen gbé níbí? Gbogbo kan dédé wá kidnap èèyàn kan New York sí. Kan gbé lọ sí kan sọ pé àwọn transfer lọ sí Ohio fún crime tó commit, alleged crime that was in New York. Tó pé ó pè èèyàn kan ní olè, kí nǹkan dédé pè èèyàn kan lólè nísìn. àmọ́ ni pé ẹni ó ṣe fàyàwọ́ mo àbí oògùn olóró ló mo kàn déédéé accuse ẹ̀ mo fẹ́ damage image ẹ̀ kí àwọn ọlọ́pàá Ohio kan wá sọ pé àwọn agbé mi ní where is the boundaries, where, and none of the governors said nothing, none of the politicians said anything, none of the police officers said anything, nobody said a word. Daniel Lawrence suffered in detention for more than 90 days for bailable offense, and they kept postponing. Drama. None. The Nigerian Bar Association never said anything. So all of the lawyers, everybody that goes to the bar, don't support only lawyers in Nigeria. Look, you can just imagine what type of culture that is. The whole legal system is all corrupted. Even the Bar Association do not take offense. But listen, we cannot call ourselves lawful society, and be acting like this. Gone were those days. When the attorneys will raise issues, and the judges have been corrupted too. It's whatever the government wants. Not even just governor, not even the president. Even now, local government chairman will use the judge to go and do any illegal behavior and lock somebody up. Anybody will just usurp the power of the legal power, the power of the legal system, to punish another person because they just don't like their face, or because that person offended them, or somehow they just want to prove that they are somebody in the society and that the other person is nobody in the society. A society where we call ourselves citizens, where everybody should be equal under the law, where one vote is not more than another vote. And we call it a democracy. Listen, the things we'll be pointing out here are the hypocrisy of democracy. This thing that the Western world gave us, talk about democracy, you will see all the hypocrisies. And another thing I want to jump to America. Gone were those days when some of us were growing up, and up till recently, as not more than 4 or 5 years ago, this country used to be in such a way. America is like a country where not the president can even declare war. The president have to go through Congress. It is the Congress of the United States that declares war, isn't it? The last one, in Afghanistan, before they went into Iraq. When they started to, Afghanistan was easy because 9/11 and Osama bin Laden, Al-Qaeda was resident in Afghanistan. But the main target, eventually, they use Afghanistan as a stepping stool now to go into Iraq. Now the Iraqi war. Let's look at how they justify that. They use Colin Powell, a black man, somebody with very clean record, highly respected between Democrats and Republicans, somebody of high integrity. I'm sure Colin Powell went into his grave regretting that moment, that he went to the United Nations and said, oh, there are evidence of weapons of mass destruction. So just to point back that even they have to get the citizens to buy into it, they have to get the Congress to allow the president to go into war. And even then, they still went to the United Nations and justified using Colin Powell. But as of today, the hypocrisy of democracy. As of today, you're seeing a president who doesn't care about the Congress or the Senate or the Congress or the Senate. He doesn't care about the judiciary either. He single-handedly is saying, I'm going to come gun blazing to another country. And it's like normal. Today, why are they silent? Why are they not saying those things? Our question is background. Why is nobody like the Rampo, that will be against the government, that you cannot do this or whatever? We have the power of the purse. We have the clinic of. Will they go to war without funding it? But none of these Congress people are telling nothing about the Nigerian situation now. because Donald Trump is saying he's going to go to Nigeria and because of the Christians being killed and unalived and all that. All of this crap. It is beautiful when you look at it. When they present these things to you, listen, going with those days when America presented itself as the moral standard of the world. People are wise now. People have seen what they are all about. Especially when it comes to Africa. And I'll tell you why my reasoning is like this. I'll tell you the reason why I've grown and matured and removed the veil upon my eyes to see clearly why they are like this now. If you call it a democracy and you say you're a country of law and order, you're a country of rule and regulations. So regardless of whatever happens, only oromi kò ní padà sọ́dọ̀ mi láláì ṣe kí ni eléyìí tí mo mú fẹ́. Ṣé Ọlọ́run á wá wí á sọ pé òun ò sọ bẹ́ẹ̀ mọ́ bí? So if you talk about democracy and you're talking about the rule of law and you're talking about law and order, I think it has to be a very high standard, and it has to be only one single standard. Whether you're black or white, whether you're tall or short, whether you're male or female, whether you're green or orange, it doesn't matter. Whether you're Christian or Muslim, the law should apply equally, isn't it?
Yes.
So why would you change all of a sudden from a country where the power to go to war is only issued by Congress to one single person now saying, I'll declare war, because that's automatically saying you're declaring war on another sovereign nation without any no justification, no evidence provided. There's no other evidence provided. Evidence. What about the evidence we've been bringing to the United Nations since about 4 or 5 years ago? Nigerians have been coming to the world. We've written letters. We've protested. We've gone to the White House. We've gone to all these embassies. Why now, all of a sudden, are you interested in this case? You didn't hear us then? So what changed? That's where I want us to now look at it from this angle. We should look into what changed with the United States now having sudden interest in the Christian community of Nigeria. Why now are they interested in saving the Christians in Nigeria? My question first is this. Does Donald Trump know that Nigeria has Christians in it before? That one he can't protect when he was calling Nigeria a shithole country. Does he understand that there are Nigerians who are Christians when he imposed the 14% tariff on Nigeria? And who are the people suffering from it? Is it not the citizens? The same Christians. Does America realize that there are Christians in Nigeria when he imposed a visa ban on Nigeria? He didn't say only on Muslims, Nigeria. He said Nigeria. So I'm now saying fast forward to today, from January when he took over office, and from the time he started imposing visa bans and imposing tariffs, and from 4 or 5 years ago when he called, this African nation as shitholes, what has changed between then and now? And I'll bring us back to this. 4 or 5 years ago when he was calling on shithole, there was no such thing as the Sahel, the AES. When he first started and came into office, yes, the AES is starting, but then they were not they have not really been able to bypass all of the IMF mechanisms and the Western power instruments of neocolonialism. So right now, you see the Sahelian countries have merged into like one big giant country. Right now, all of those 3 countries have gained autonomy, or let me say, they've gained sovereignty over their what? Natural resources. Right now, they are seeing development like nowhere else in the world happening in those areas. Right now, they've also seen the fact that they've lost access to the resources in those countries, right? And right now, they see that these Sahelian countries are now in bed with Russia, China, and India, the arch enemies of the United States. And right now, they see those Sahelian countries are trying or have actually established their own currency. They know that the Sahel will be a case study for the rest of Africa to have what? A single currency, which is why they killed what? Muammar Gaddafi, the Balanti.
Yes.
So all of a sudden, they wanted to intervene in Burkina Faso. They tried 20-something times to unalive the president. They couldn't get Ibrahim Traore. Abibeko. They're using other foreign aid to now. Let us also remember that from the United States Congress, there was a clear information that they actually sponsor terrorists. It's an open thing that everybody sees. And we understand that Barack Hussein Obama and Hillary Clinton created Boko Haram.
That's right.
In Nigeria. Charity.
That's sir.
And so if they've created these terror organizations, and if they're funding, because we have in the news, in the press, if they are funding this terror organization across the world, in the entire world, who are the creator of the terror in Nigeria? That all of a sudden, the same terror group you created, the same terror group that you trained, the same terror group that you're funding, that are doing your bidding. So, and now they're killing you. So now it is the Nigerian government that is allowing them to kill Christians. Go figure that. See, gone were those days when they lie. America will use a proxy to do its bidding and come around on the side of democracy, saying that, when it doesn't work in their way, saying they're coming to intervene. This is my advice to my fellow countrymen. Let me tell you what is all behind all this. But don't kidnap it alone. One good thing, the good things that happen with this. Did you hear anything from Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the president of Nigeria? No. I didn't saw lórí òtò yìí. Wọ́n kidnap it alone kò sọ̀rọ̀. Tànà tó tún ṣe ní nǹkan kan tí mo ní pé kò sọ̀rọ̀ ṣe gbọ́n kankan kí president sọ anything kò sọ anything. So many things have happened in that country that he never said a word. So many ugly things have happened to people, and that people will rise up and talk about these things. He will never say a word. They're killing people, violent acts. It will never happen in this part of the world. It will not happen in Britain. You see the prime minister coming out to talk. It will not happen even, and Donald Trump, he will still come out and talk about it. Well, even ordinary natural disasters that are nature caused, they will come out and talk, not talk about even crimes. And the Cololosi, Martin there, took Park, one building on Park Avenue, that he shot people, a lot of people. They were showing it was the news, and the White House have to talk. The White House have to comment on it. If it was in Nigeria, church, you don't see no local government chairman talk nothing. Did you see governor of Kwara State say nothing? Even when people are started accusing that the governor of Kwara State knows about all these things, did he say a word?
Oh, sorry, sir.
But the fair car in your log interview to say woman. Tinubu wanted to appoint that woman as one of his ministers, somebody to work, and the woman said, "What do you have for us in the north?" Do you have any plan? Only any plan step on too many toes. What am I Tinubu, it is on the social media. Tinubu said if he has to do anything about the state security, the security of the nation, especially from the north, that he will be killed. If that woman was lying, because Tinubu called that woman, but unfair appointed, or the Joko accept the position because he needed that woman for the north. And the woman, Tinubu offered to pay her trip to come to London and come and meet her. Only let me tell you go down. Second about hotel. Okay, you can pay for the hotel. The woman went from Nigeria that same day, met with Tinubu in London that same day, and the question that the woman had is, for me to accept this position, what is your plan? Let me know what your blueprint is for security in the north. And Tinubu answered, saying, if that woman is lying, Tinubu should say something. Just like buying Sunday Igboho should come out and say something. You should not be sending third parties to say, I didn't bow. So, going back to Tinubu, Tinubu told the woman, according to what this woman said, I don't have a blueprint for the security of the country. Because if I do, they will kill me. Who are the people that will kill him? Let us understand one thing. Let us understand one thing. When Goodluck Jonathan spoke the other day, and Goodluck Jonathan saw, there are other forces and some external power and some external hands. External countries, only some external hands. That was why Goodluck Jonathan had to run away from that White House. Because the Western powers, chief in place is France, Britain, Germany, and of course the CIA. Those are created Boko Haram, and we're using it to ensure that Buhari will come into power. He said they have hands in the funding of these terrorists. And Goodluck Jonathan said he went in the bush, like terrorists. How can the government officials be negotiating with terrorists, known terrorists? They're not hidden because they have so much confidence on the powers that are backing them. And these powers, as we know from the congressmen, the Boko Haram was created by Barack Hussein Obama, Hillary Clinton, and his CIA to destabilize African countries, especially West African nations, just so that they can kill, they can plunder, and steal the resources out there, so that we don't have a stable government, and Africa will never have peace. They're causing us not to have peace, so we'll continue to only try to struggle to be alive, while they're plundering, so we can't even think of development. This is where they want Africa. That's what they want for Africa, and that's their own intentions. Now they're seeing peace coming in the Sahel. They've tried every other means. They wanted to use Michael Langley, it failed. The entire world erupted. So they went back. Not quiet. They've gone back on the drawing table. The CIA have thought through the whole thing. The only way they thought they could do, because recently they also tried from Niger. Well, they pay not to fail. All of these things are failing. So their last option, what is about this stage, they will have to fight. Because their survival, not to fall down from the global stage, depends on keeping Africa impoverished. So what have they come up with now? So our people that are thinking, they wanted to come and save the Christians. Let me tell you one thing, and let us take it from our local environment. In Nigeria, Omobola Ahmed Tinubu fẹ́ ṣe birthday. Kí ló rà tó pín káàkiri fáwọn èèyàn? 1 million guinea. Bible. He's supposed to be a Muslim, right?
Ben, sir.
Yeah, even because by African tradition, you're your father's son. Yes, you have a mother, but you're your father's son. And usually people go by the religion of the father. Isn't it? Even wives will convert into the husband's religion. In the case of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, he was not a serious religious man, and or maybe he doesn't care, or maybe it was a calculated attempt in politics. The wife remained a Christian, isn't it? But you expect the son to be what?
Yeah.
To be a Muslim. And then he wanted to do, now, okay, he's a Christian and the same time he's a Muslim, because what she is in Baba, what then she is in, yeah. But to the Bible for Christian, can you Quran if I'm a Muslim? Any surumbe? She ọmọ Dangote àti àwọn ọmọ Christian ní òun fẹ́ra wọn. Let me tell you one thing. The oligarchs in Nigeria, the elites in Nigeria, nígbà tó Buhari fẹ́ ṣe wedding, how many airplanes náà gbé láti ilẹ̀ Igbo, láti Yorùbá land? How many private jets ló fly into Daura, into the north for the wedding? Over 140, about 240 private jets. That means individuals with their own private planes went into the north from all over Nigeria for the wedding of Buhari's daughter, Shanati. What I'm driving at is this: it does not matter whether you are Igbo, it doesn't matter whether you are Yoruba, it does not matter whether you are Hausa, it doesn't matter whether you are Kanuri, it doesn't matter whether you are Fulani. These people that are elites, they wine and dine together. That's right. They actually marry also between their children. They have all of this. Their houses in London is like next to each other. They're neighbors. And then they're Muslims, and then there are Christians among them. Do they fight each other for that? About religion? Do they fight themselves about religion? This is to tell our people. This issue about Yoruba, Hausa, Fulani, this issue about religion, Christian, Muslim, or Isheshe, is not among your elites. It's not an issue among our elites. Why are they making it an issue among us? Because it is a way to control us. I'm going to repeat it again. The issue of religion, boya Muslim, boya Christianity, boya Isheshe. Torí gbogbo àwọn olówó náà náà wà nínú ẹgbẹ́ àwo ṣe mọ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀. Gbogbo wọn náà ṣe oore fákàndán ṣe fáwọn ṣe àmọye múlẹ̀. Yeah, actually, at some point during the Obasanjo regime, I heard pé tí o bá ti lọ wọ àwọn ẹgbẹ́ kọ̀ọ̀kan kó mú àwọn ilẹ̀ kan wọn lè gbà kó jẹ́ anything. So all of these people, they are Isheshe, they are Christian, they are Muslim, all three in one, and their children intermarry. It doesn't matter whether it's Fulani or Hausa. Ìyàwó the Vice President Obasanjo kí lorúkọ máa yìí. Atiku. Ṣebí Yorùbá ni?
Yes, yes.
Ṣebí Yorùbá ni? Wọ́n ṣe sọ pé Fulani àti Yorùbá. We have Yoruba people also marrying from Hausa and Fulani people who are marrying Igbo. Àbúrò mi mo sọ fún yín. Ìkan náà àbúrò mi. Ọmọ Igbo ló fẹ́. It happened to be one of the best relationship in our family. Unfortunately, untimely death.
It's sorry for me. Yes.
Yeah. Does it mean? So what I'm trying to point out, you see, the issue of race, Yoruba versus Igbo, Igbo versus Hausa, Hausa versus Fulani, is magnified disproportionately among the poor citizens, the general masses. When it comes to the few elites, it is nothing. It is not even a consideration. When Obasanjo said he thought about how he can solve the issue of cement in Nigeria, and then he called Aliko Dangote and told him, come in my office. How do we solve this issue? He was trying to talk about how he made Dangote a billionaire, a multi-billionaire. And then he explained, why did he not say because Aliko Dangote is a Fulani man? This is to tell you that these elites, the issue of religion, the issue of ethnicity, does not play any role among them. The same thing with the West. They don't care about your religion. They don't care about your race, whatever. They don't care about none of that, except for mutual interests. So, this is protecting their what? Personal interests. Same thing. Kilowade. Tawa. Tawa fẹ́ sọ religion. Tawa fẹ́ bẹ̀rẹ̀ jihad lórí ara wa. then they will not say anything because they are happy that these issues are keeping us divided. Because the elites are happy because it keeps them to be in control. The foreigners are happy because they're using those elites to plunder our resources. So why is America not interested in Nigeria? Because now they see the elites are getting, now there are a couple of factors because of pressure from what is happening in the Sahel. Pressure from the youths and the possibility of the youths rising up in Nigeria. Now, all of a sudden, the government of Nigeria is entering into bed with China, is entering into bed with India, it's going into technological whatever with Russia. It's a direct threat to the United States. So when they talk about Christian, and how will they better sell this to the world? I think for years, we want power, tako photo, tako evidence, tako oríṣiríṣi lọ tí wọ́n dá wa lóhùn. Nigeria kò gbìn àmọye lẹ́tà tí Tinubu before Tinubu Buhari kódà kò tiẹ̀ sọ fún mi lẹ́tà wa àmọye lẹ́tà tí Tinubu tó dá wa lóhùn. Now it took only one man to violate the order of the government order, to show the hypocrisy of their democracy, to issue threat to a sovereign nation. One man issue one threat, and the whole government of Tinubu is jumping up and down. I want to ask us a question. Can Donald Trump issue threat to Burkina Faso today, Ibrahim Traore? Can he issue threat? Nígbà tó tiẹ̀ kọ́kọ́ fi ban visa charge lórí Mali, àbí Niger, Mali ni Mali. $10,000 guinea. The next day, ṣe kí ni? Charges lórí kí ni wọn? Kí ni nǹkan tí America ṣe padà? Wọ́n reverse it. But they issue one threat on Twitter against Nigeria. Now Tinubu is running to America.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, but talking kidnap with Lolong, don't kidnap with Lolong to go and pariwo. Wọ́n ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ ni pé wọ́n rí wa o. Táwọn yẹn ń lo religion láti fi divide wa, wọ́n ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ ni pé wọ́n rí wa o. Ṣèbí religion yìí ni Donald Trump lóyè. Muslims are Donald Trump is even saying, why do you have a Muslim as a president and vice president? What's his business in our sovereignty? That's to tell you we have no sovereignty at all. If a foreign country is challenging, kí ni nǹkan tó kàn pẹ̀lú pé àyàn àwọn ààrẹ tó wà àti gbákejì kí ló kan Donald Trump kí ló kan America? Ṣé yẹ kó kan America ni? Hypocrisy of this democracy. Our people should pay attention to those things. Now, some of us will argue, well, yes, it is right. Tabade won't toto, ṣé kò dá bẹ́ẹ̀ láti fojú pé gbàtà tí ń pariwo ṣé Tinubu gbìn. Go down. You're not protecting the citizens of your country. With the citizens that are complaining and everything, you're not doing anything, you're actually ignored. This is how they treat us. Fella calling by the Nigerian government, they talk with that. My people are useless, my people are senseless, my people are indisciplined. When you treat your citizens with complete by ignoring them, like they don't matter, and you expect foreigners to treat us right, and now the same foreign leaders now are threatening you, all of a sudden you're jumping.
Hold on, Daddy. Daddy. Anekosa. Okay, sir. Ẹ ṣé gan ni. Daddy Ṣọlá tí ìkúnlẹ̀ mi rẹ̀ kú ọjọ́ mẹ́ta, Daddy. Ẹ káàbọ̀ sórí ètò sà.
Yàrá yẹ kú ọjọ́ mẹ́ta.
Mo wà lórí ìkúnlẹ̀, Daddy.
Okay, Daddy Moses Abiodun, ẹ kú ọjọ́ mẹ́ta o, ẹ kálẹ́ o.
Ẹ káàbọ̀.
Yes. Hello?
Hello, sir. À ń gbọ́ yín,
sir. À ń gbọ́ yín, sir.
À ń gbọ́ yín, Daddy.
Ṣé mo lè pè yín padà? Ọmọ mi ń pè yín.
Okay, yes, ẹ lè pè padà, sir. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni, sir. Ẹ lè pè padà, sir.
Okay.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni, sir. Ìyẹn ṣe kókó, ọmọ là ń sọ yìí.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni. Ṣé ẹ bá yín sọ? So it took one person, a wannabe dictator, a wannabe king, to break his own country's rules and order of procedure, to issue threat against a foreign sovereign nation. And now the head of that government is jumping up and down. Now he's running to America to come and beg and prostrate. Egbami o, ejowo o, esegba o, esa o. Meanwhile, recently they sold arms to Nigeria, about $130 million worth of ammunitions. But guess what? It's not today nothing to arms. The companies that are manufacturing these arms, this is how they make money. They get these arms, it goes into Nigeria, they pay off the military officer that do the purchase and the government officials and everything, and that's a rock. They sign deals and take the money, and then these weapons go and get delivered to the terror group, the same terror. So they don't. I don't understand if you understand what I'm saying here.
Oh yes,
they are delivering the nation's weapons to the terrorists and telling them to be unaliving people. But now they're coming around and telling us these people are killing Christians because now they have interest to come in. And I'll tell you what their interest is. Based on my own observation, number one, because Nigeria, because of pressure, is now entering into deals with China and with India and with Russia. It's a problem for the United States. Number two, actually, maybe this one is number one. They have tried every means to destroy the Union in the Sahel. They have failed. They need a reason to be on ground, close by those three countries, and especially to protect Nigeria from going the same way that Israel goes. They have to find their ways into Nigeria. It's going to serve two purposes. Number one, so that Nigeria doesn't fall. They can continue to plunder us and then maintain the violence and destruction and disruption in Nigeria so that we will not have progress. We will continue to struggle and say, we'll be dealing with terror and every time because there has been no country, no law, that they were able to solve the issue of terror. It is into their interest that there is terror. Because this is how they feed. Look at Congo. Look at Iraq. Look at Libya. Check out Afghanistan. Everywhere that these people have gone, it is the same sad, bloody stories. And now they want to come into Nigeria. Biafra war. What's going to happen now will be on steroid times 10. If that should happen, if they should step foot, they should be allowed. I think just like the time they rose up for Ibrahim Traore, people should be screaming on top of their voices now across the entire globe. That Nigeria is not calling for nobody. And I'm not expecting Tinubu to be running to Washington instead of now running to his own people. But when you know you have not been working for the people, you've been working for the same masters. And now they don't need you because they need that place to face the Sahelian government and make sure that Africa's unity does not become a reality, a realization. This is the ultimate goal, because they cannot justify going into Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger. And they don't want Nigeria to fall. Already it's showing cracks with Nigerian government getting into bed with Russia, signing deals, oil contract, and all these things with Russia, technological know-how with India. All of these things, these are part of the Brazil. These are part of the Brexit. No. These are the our country talk with our God. Create a new currency for our this sort of it's China, Brazil, Russia, India, South Africa, BRICS.
Yeah, BRICS. Yeah, BRICS.
The BRIC countries. They enter into these deals and they know that the BRIC country wants to create a new currency that's not going to be, will make the dollar useless. And you think America is going to take it? About a month ago, Donald Trump said, we will not allow that to happen, ever. Did people listen to that? So what's going on right now is changing in Africa, especially in West Africa, from their exploitation war or exploitation disturbance to now economic war. And the ground is now the fighting ground. They want to turn Nigeria into that fighting ground, where it will be a battle to the finish. I don't want my family to be part of that.
I know.
So, well, because some people are saying, some of us are screaming, resources don't buy. Ṣé ó benefit wa tẹ́lẹ̀? Ṣé báwọn elite ló ń kó jẹ, tó ń fi àjẹ gbọ́ra lù? Pé ń pẹ́ k'Amẹ́ríkà tó wá gbà. Is that a good, sound judgment and argument? To me, I would say it looks reasonable, but it is not sound. Because on the long term, what that does, if they do that, is to make sure that the unity of Africa doesn't happen. Ever. Maybe they'll push it back another 400 years. What's about to happen in Africa? They will push it back to maybe indefinitely never happening, because they created these borders, and now the Sahel is acting like a model for all other Africans to see, because African youths are paying attention. They see what happened in Madagascar. They see what's going on in Cameroon. They've seen some other countries also rising up, the youths coming up. Look at what's happening in Tanzania. So they figure if Nigeria should fall, it's a problem. What's the best excuse to give? The CIA came up with religion. Oh, they're killing Christians in that country. We will not stand for it. Are the Christians American Christians? The Christians that they're killing in Nigeria, are they American Christians? So what's the problem of America? Yeah, some of us know some of the consequences of what we're saying. Yes, naturalized, and that this country is actually out of hinge. Based on social media talks and public talks, they've actually been taking green cards away from people, deporting people because of their social media postings. I'm not afraid of all that. But you understand? So I'm going to say what I have to say. It doesn't matter where it lands. And I'll mention names without, as long as I know what I'm saying is the truth. What is the business of the United States going into Africa, going to Nigeria? Let's assume they're right, that these Christians are being killed. Are these your missionaries in Nigeria? Are they your Christians? Are these Americans Christians they're killing? What's your business with that? Why don't you go to North Korea and say Kim Jong-un is killing or some other people there? Why don't you go into China and say they don't allow free religion and free? How many times have you called China a dictator, a communist nation that is impinging on human rights? How many times not to label China of human rights? Are you not going to Russia and telling them about human rights, but you want to come to Africa? No. How you know a weak country, a very weak country, is a weak country that always want to attack people, countries that are not of its own status? Why don't you go and face India? They will not even face India. They cannot even face Iran. But now they want to talk about coming to Nigeria. Why? Because they want to make sure they destroy the Sahel. You see, Motiman saw, and I'm repeating it again. America cannot wait to have the opportunity to start bombing Burkina Faso. Because look at the schools, look at the hospitals, look at the roads. They don't want that to happen in Africa at all. And our people are foolishly saying, well, if our leaders are stealing our wealth, we should let America come and take it anyways. It doesn't matter. It does matter because they're going to push us back down. Right now, Africa is about changing that. Our leaders are getting kicked out. It happened in Burkina Faso. It happened in Mali. It happened in Niger. Senegal, here and there, lukewarm. Chad, they're changing. Look at Tanzania. Look at Madagascar. It is changing. Even now, you're looking at Togo. It's very unstable. The youths are coming up in their volumes and saying, no, Africa has to change. And of course, when you atana koto atonima, the Nigerian youth give it another. This 2027 is going to be very decisive. With the election coming up, the youth are going to rise. There's no way they will be able to stop these people. It's unfortunate. But support is support it. But again, I sense they were using some of this media and some of us that are ignorant on social media to quell all of that. And then they play this ethnicity role. They use the ethnicity role. They use the Yoruba nation versus Igbo and Sendegbo versus Nnamdi Kanu. They use all of that to destroy what should have been a collective action of the youth. Nigerian youth, if you listen to this, let's say, you're in the same boat. You're suffering the same. Look, when you bleed, they bleed. Yoruba and Hausa, if you see yourselves, and to the good Fulanis, I'm talking here. You're all Africans first. When you bleed, when you get hurt, you bleed. You're going to bleed the same blood. So I'm going to say and advise that it is time you come together and fight common ground. Your common ground and pitch together against your common enemy. Who is the common enemy? Those from outside who want to plunder us and turn us against ourselves. And what are their instruments? Ethnicity, old stories, religion, big.
Okay.
What do you use? Especially religion. We should not allow it to happen. We should not allow it to happen. And then hold our leaders to account. Look at Tinubu. We already know he's the puppet of the West. He's jumping now into America. I dare Donald Trump to issue a threat against Assimi Goïta or Abdurrahmani Chiani or Ibrahim Traore and hear what they say. But look at a threat to Tinubu. He's already jumping over there, giving all kind of excuses, running to Washington, D.C. For a survivor. He will not survive this. Government they survive it. But government they survive it. But personally, Nigerians don't want no foreign troops on our soil. That's all. Let us handle our own business ourselves. Yes, leave them alone. They've been killing us. We called you before, you never answered. Nobody said nothing about the Nigerian government. Why now? We don't need that. We don't need war on our land. We don't need your bombs coming to our fatherland. No, we do not need your influence on our soil. Keep your visas, they're not killing you. They're not killing Americans in Nigeria. Thank you.
Ẹ ṣé gidi gan ni sà, ẹ fòrùn gbòòsà fún bàbá ẹgbẹ́. Dádì ẹjọ́ ẹ má bínú sá, ẹjọ́ jẹ́ kí n sáré kí àwọn aráalé ẹjọ́ ẹ má bínú bàbá wa tí wọ́n pè wọlé èèyàn mi ò ní ṣe máa ṣe ní kánmọ́kánmọ́. Ìyá wa mọ́dún ní àdé ìyálòdì orí ìkànnì wa mọ́mí Fúnmilọ́lá Bello 572 mọ́mí Títí Ọlọ́dọ̀ àti ta ló tún kàn dádì Ṣọlátí ẹ ṣé gidi gan sà ẹ ṣé mà dádì Ọpẹ́ Olúwa ni adúpẹ́ o ẹ káàbọ̀ sí orí ìkànnì ẹ tẹ̀síwájú dádì mi ẹ kálẹ́ sà ẹ káàbọ̀ sí orí ètò yín ètò wa mo wà lórí ìkúnlẹ̀ sá o ẹ kú gbogbo ìgbà bàbá àárín yín pẹ́ láti ìgbìmọ̀ rẹ̀.
Ẹ kú ètò náà o.
Ẹ ṣé gan sà.
Dr. Abiodun Ojo ẹ ǹlẹ́ ẹ káàbọ̀ sá. Ẹ kú ètò náà.
Thank you.
Yeah. Woman ni obìnrin tẹ́ ẹ̀ rántí orúkọ ẹ̀ tẹ́ ẹ̀ ń tọ́ àti dárúkọ ẹ̀ lẹ́ẹ̀kan Najatu Mohammed tó ẹ fẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀ lẹ́ẹ̀kan ẹ̀yẹ Najatu Mohammed tó sọ̀rọ̀ wípé ó máa pa òun tàbí tó sọ pé òun àti Mr. Bola Ahmed Tinubu kókó pàdé òun ní London pé kán lè ṣe mítí kó wọn á béèrè lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀ pé kí ni pílánì tó ní fún àwọn ṣe north west tàbí kí ni kan Najatu Mohammed ní woman yẹn. Ṣé rí mi nígbà àkókò yín pẹ̀lú ọ̀rọ̀ tẹ́ ń sọ nípa ètò tẹ́ ń ṣe lálẹ́ yìí like ṣé ń gbọ́rọ̀ mi.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni sà ẹ má bínú ẹjọ́.
Ṣé rí gbogbo ilé tí President Trump ń sọ yẹn it's just a political game ni àfàwọn tó bá wà inform tàbí àwọn tó bá mọ background àwọn kan tó ti ń ṣẹlẹ̀ for long lákàn fọ́ọ̀lù sí lákàn máa ni wọ́n máa kó gbogbo nǹkan tó ń sọ jẹ mi mọ̀ Yálájé Dr. Abíọ́dún mi mọ̀ bóyá ẹ gbọ́ kíní show tí Délé Fárótìmí ṣe ní ìjẹta ní àná ìní ní Monday tó ṣe Yálájé mi mọ̀ bóyá ti lọ gbọ́ fún kíní show yẹn mi mọ̀ bóyá ti gbọ́.
Mo gbọ́ díẹ̀ mi ò tí gbọ́ tán sá torí mo busy díẹ̀ bákan so mo ṣe máa gbọ́ dáadáa ní alẹ́ yìí lágbára lọ.
Okay. Délé Fárótìmí ti sọ a lot of things tó ó ti respond and gbogbo àwọn ọ̀rọ̀ tó sọ pátápátá is a very ó make a vital point ó sọ̀rọ̀ nípa wípé from ìgbà tó fẹ́ máa sọ̀rọ̀ ó ní kí US pé kó máa put in nose into Nigeria affair ó ní kó jókòó sáàyè wọn ó dẹ̀ sọ àwọn ìgbésẹ̀ wípé tí wọn mọ̀ wípé bóyá àwọn Christian wọ́n ń pa àwọn Christian ní contraction kọ Nigeria ó ní kì í ṣe Trump ló máa sọ fóun wípé kì í ṣe Trump ó dẹ̀ tún dárúkọ gbogbo nǹkan tí kinní náà ṣe kí lorúkọ ẹ̀ Barack Obama tó jẹ́ kó kinní wọlé ńgbà yẹn Buhari tí wọ́n make sure pé wọ́n jẹ́ kí lorúkọ ẹ̀ Jonathan lọ gbogbo ẹ̀ náà Délé Fárótìmí sọ mọ́rọ̀ ó dẹ̀ sọ nípa àwọn politician government official tó jẹ́ pé ṣebí àwọn stolen money wọn ṣebí ọwọ́ wọn ló ń bọ́ síbí ó dẹ̀ sọ̀rọ̀ nípa àwọn sponsor pé wọ́n nǹkan wọ́n mọ a lot of things tó ń lọ látijọ́ yìí wípé ṣe wọ́n mọ ní àwọn intelligence wípé ṣé now ló sọ pé òun fẹ́ ṣe pé ṣé ó ní pé wọ́n pa wípé this not a matter of pé wọ́n pa Kristẹni pé kì í ṣọ̀rọ̀ Kristẹni lélẹ̀ yàrá tọ̀ kíní náà dẹ̀ tún sọ̀rọ̀ ìyẹn Ṣówòrè.
ẹ ṣeun aláàjì wa ìfàdípẹ́ dárúkọ máa ní ẹ ṣe gan.
àwọn méjèèjì ò dẹ̀ sọ̀rọ̀ nípa pé bóyá wọ́n fẹ́ wá fún resources wa ẹni àwọn tó bá ń sọ̀rọ̀ nípa ti resources yẹn pé bóyá torí resources Africa Nàìjíríà most of them mọ àìmọ̀ kan ni mo rí àwọn kinní kan náà dà kan sọ pé wọ́n get kinní kan ní kí lorúkọ ẹ̀ ṣe ní Imo State ni wọ́n sọ pé wọ́n ṣe to discover mineral resources kan ní village kan ní kí lorúkọ ẹ̀ ní Imo State ń bẹ̀ yẹn tó sọ pé owó ti bí billions of ṣe dollars or naira ìyẹn ọ̀tọ̀ Délé Fárótìmí ti sọ ẹni tó bá gbọ́ interview ló ṣe show tó ṣe lọ́jọ́ Sunday ó ti parí ọ̀rọ̀ the same thing Ṣówòrè àti the same thing àwọn tó jẹ́ pé wọ́n mọ nǹkan tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ wọ́n ti sọ̀rọ̀ Ṣówòrè náà ó dẹ̀ sọ ó dárúkọ pé anywhere tó bá ti lọ tó bá lọ bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn tó bá kúrò ibẹ̀ yẹn ó máa ń worse ju wọ́n ṣe bá bẹ̀ yẹn ó sọ̀rọ̀ nípa Libya ó sọ̀rọ̀ nípa Iraq ó sọ̀rọ̀ nípa Afghanistan yẹn Ṣówòrè náà ó mẹ́sàn gbogbo àwọn ibi tó ń lọ tó jẹ́ pé at the end kò sí nǹkan tó nothing good tó jáde láti bẹ̀ Ṣówòrè náà ó support ẹ̀ òun náà ó gèsì ẹ̀ pé kò sí nǹkan tó fẹ́ wá ṣe ó dẹ̀ sọ ó sọ step tí wọ́n máa take and ká má gbàgbé náà wípé Dr. Obadia Malaysia ó ti sọ a lot of things náà ní a couple of years ago ṣèbí torí yẹn náà fi dẹ́mi ẹ̀ légbodò ṣé àwọn àṣebí ìgbà Buhari ni ṣé àwọn á sọ pé wọn ò gbọ́ ni ṣèbí wọ́n ní kọ́nsúlà sí Àbújá wọ́n ní kọ́nsúlà sí kí lorúkọ ẹ̀ sí Lagos náà tó ń rí gbogbo nǹkan tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ gbogbo ilé tó kàn ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ ń sọ yìí àmọ́ ní gbogbo yẹn náà wọ́n mọ gbogbo nǹkan tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ Màláfíà ti sọ̀rọ̀ ńgbà yẹn Màláfíà náà dẹ̀ sọ ńgbà yẹn ó ní kì í ṣe Kírísítẹ́nì nìkan ni wọ́n ń pa ó ní exclusive ó náà tún pa àwọn kí lorúkọ ẹ̀ àwọn Mùsùlùmí ó ní wọ́n tún pa wọn ó dẹ̀ sọ àwọn patterns tó ń fi ń pa àwọn bishop àtàwọn kìrìsìtẹ́nì kan náà, and Dr. Malafia yẹn náà dà pé òun náà dà pé kìrìsìtẹ́nì bọ̀ tó dà pé Haúsá Fúlàní, ó dà pé Haúsá man ni, ó dẹ̀ sọ pé most of àwọn tó ń pa wípé Haúsá ni wọ́n, wípé this is àwọn group of people tó jẹ́ pé wọ́n ní hidden agenda tó dẹ̀ jẹ́ wípé wọ́n fẹ́ fulanize everybody ni, this agenda of fulanization. Malafia náà sọ ń gbà yẹn náà, òun náà sọ̀rọ̀ nípa wípé Nàìjíríà is a failed state. Ó dẹ̀ sọ̀rọ̀ ní pótú even kan tó challenge àwọn kí lorúkọ àwọn media wípé ẹ̀yin ń pè wọ́n wípé bandit lẹ́ ń pè wọ́n, pé these people are not bandits, they are terrorists. Ó dẹ̀ sọ bí wọ́n ṣe lọ sí ṣé military base tàbí NDA kìíní gbà yẹn tó lọ attack ibẹ̀, ó ní ṣé àwọn bandit lálẹ́, ó ní àwọn bandit ò ní máa ṣe nǹkan bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn, ó ní terrorist ni wọ́n, ó ní kó ń pè wọ́n lórúkọ tó yẹ kó ń pè wọ́n. Tèmi torí yẹn náà fi dẹ́mi ẹ̀ légbodò. The same thing Nnamdi Kanu náà ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ń pariwo náà láti bí 2014 náà, ó pariwo ṣe gbọ́ ẹ̀. Gbogbo bí Nnamdi Kanu ṣe wà mẹ́mọ́ ṣe mú mọ́lẹ̀, it's not only about contraction called Nigeria government nìkan. Àwọn westerner náà wọ́n mọ̀ nípa especially àwọn British ń bẹ̀ yẹn. Wọ́n mọ̀ nípa ẹ̀ because ó reveal a lot of things gbà yẹn. Kò sí gbogbo nǹkan tí ò sọ́tọ̀. Kenya ni wọ́n ti lọ pọ́ńdù ẹ̀ ńgbà yẹn tó ń dẹ̀ gbé lọ sí contraction called Nigeria. Gbogbo pé bóyá torí resources náà fi fẹ́ wá tàbí pé kìíní yẹn resources yẹn náà àwọn ló enjoy àwọn indigene. Kò sí nǹkan kan tó ń benefit náà, ṣebí àwọn politician àwọn kìíní àwọn ló gbádùn ẹ̀. Ọdún 5 minutes make àwọn nǹkan tó yẹ kó sọ pẹ̀lú Ṣówòrè àti àwọn kan. And gẹ́gẹ́ bí mo dẹ̀ ṣe máa ń sọ all the time, èmi ò ní yé máa ń sọ all the time. The real problem ta ní gẹ́gẹ́ bí mo ṣe máa ń sọ òun ni ẹ̀sìn àjèjì méjèèjì yẹn tó ń gbé wá. That is the foundation of the problem. Ẹ̀sìn àjèjì méjèèjì yẹn tí wọ́n gbé wá, and this organized religion is an organized religion. Mo dẹ̀ máa ń sọ kíní kan all the time. Religion is a man-made. Karl Marx ó ní religion is an opium of the masses. Religion is just to control láti control àwọn èèyàn ni. And tí wọ́n bá wo ilé ayé yìí, tí ayé fi rí bẹ́lẹ̀ yìí gan-an, religion gangan ni the main problem. Tí wọ́n bá wo wọn tó happen all over the world, religion ni òun ni the root cause. I keep on saying all the time, tó bá jẹ́ pé àwọn èèyàn wọ́n embrace humanity, wọ́n embrace love, wọ́n embrace truth, ilé ayé ò ní rí bẹ́lẹ̀ yìí o. Kò ní rí bẹ́lẹ̀ yìí rárá tán. And bí màá ṣe máa sọ all the time, contraction called Nigeria tàbí àwọn àpapọ̀ tó jíire, àwa ò lẹ́sìn o. Ẹ̀sìn àjòjì méjèèjì tó ń gbé wá, and ẹ̀sìn méjèèjì yìí ni is about divide and rule. Àwọn ruling class, àwọn elite wọ́n wà united, but àwọn masses ni wọ́n máa ń lo religion yìí against láti máa divide and rule, divide and conquer. Because tó bá wo most of àwọn àti Yorùbá politician, Igbo politician, Hausa Fulani politician, they are just like the same class ni wọ́n, they are one. That is the reason tí àtẹni tó jẹ́ Mùsùlùmí nínú wọn, àtẹni tó jẹ́ Kìrìsìtẹ́nì nínú wọn, àwọn ọmọ wọn wọ́n ń fẹ́ra wọn, wọ́n ń fẹ́ ara wọn, but wọ́n lò ó against àwọn masses, ó dẹ̀ ń wọ́ọ̀kì fún wọn until ìgbà táwọn masses tó bá realize wípé this religion is the main problem. Àmì dẹ̀ mọ̀ bí wọ́n ṣe lè get ẹ̀ wọ́n ṣe lè understand ẹ̀ because religion yẹn náà wọ́n ti fi brainwash àwọn èèyàn. Òun mo fi máa ń sọ all the time wípé the two foreign religion wípé critical thinking and logical reason is an opposite of religion. Opposite ni. Contraction called Nigeria, the politician and the religious people, both the Islam and the Muslim, they are just like a 5 and 6. Irú àwa ọmọ kóòtù òjíire mo máa ń sọ all the time àwa ò lẹ́sìn o ẹ̀sìn àjòjì even gan most of our religious people wọ̀nyí eléyìí tó jẹ́ Muslim nínú wọn eléyìí tó jẹ́ Christian nínú wọn kí ni wọ́n fi ń ṣe agbára gan nǹkan àwọn bàbá ńlá wa ni kùrá tí wọ́n gbé dání táwọn Muslim ń gbé dání kò ṣiṣẹ́ rárá kò fún wọn lágbára kankan the same thing like the Bible níbo ni wọ́n ti ń rú agbára tí wọ́n fi ń ṣe agbára òun ní nǹkan àwọn bàbá ńlá wa gbogbo ẹ̀ ni mo fi sọ. Most of them wọn náà ló ní Ifá. Most of them wọn Bible dey protect wọn ilé tó jẹ́ Christian nínú wọn because Bible for me is a story book and fiction book just like the same thing pẹ̀lú Quran. Àwọn tó gbé wá fún wa wọ́n mọ̀ pé wá ní it's just like a mental slavery. Mo dẹ̀ máa ń sọ all the time wípé mental slavery is worse than physical slavery. It's worse because ẹ̀sìn wọ̀nyí kò sí nǹkan tó kàn wá rárá pẹ̀lú ẹ̀sìn méjèèjì. Kò sí ibi tá a ti bá àwọn lárúbáwá tán kò sí ibi tá a ti bá wọn tán. Wọ́n mọ̀ pé wá fún wa láti fi divide wa láti fi bà ilẹ̀ wa jẹ́ ni. And Islam is a religion of violence. Kò síbi tí mi ti lè sọ. Christianity is a religion of fraud. Fraud ni. Mo mọ nǹkan tí mo ń sọ. Èmi tí mo ń bá yín sọ̀rọ̀ yìí, àwọn òbí tó bí mi, bàbá mi àti ìyá mi, ọmọ kóòtù òjíire ni wọ́n. Mo bá Kristẹni lọ́wọ́ wọn ni. Wọ́n bí mi pẹ̀lú Kristẹni. Wọ́n bí mi gẹ́gẹ́ bí ọmọ kóòtù òjíire ni. Anglican precisely. And even gan bàtẹ́ mi ń grow right from time èmi máa ń wo religion wọn kó fọ́nì. Mo máa ń wò bákan. Just like pé àwọn parents mi pé they are Christian. Ìgbà tó lúwa ẹ̀dẹ̀ dàgbà tán tó ṣe gbọ́ ẹ̀ mo ṣe àwọn research mo ṣe everything mo kà wọ́n mo dẹ̀ rí pé irọ́ pápátá ló wà ń bẹ̀ pẹ̀lú gbogbo nǹkan kan tí olúwa ẹ̀ ń rí. Àwọn ọmọ yìí kóòtù òjíire àwọn níbo la ti bá àwọn Jewish tán àbáwọn tán mà. Mo dẹ̀ máa ń sọ kinní kan all the time àwọn méjèèjì ló kó Áfíríkà lẹ́rú. Àwọn méjèèjì tẹ̀lélé wọn ò nífẹ̀ẹ́ àwa dúdú gbogbo ẹni ni mo sì fi sọ àwọn tó dẹ̀ kórìíra dúdú jù làwọn lárúbáwá. Kí ni wọ́n dẹ̀ fi deceive àwọn èèyàn nípa máa sọ pé ọ̀run rere wà heaven and earth tàbí àlùjànnà àwọn tó jẹ́ mùsùlùmí wọn ní táwọn èèyàn bá ti kú wípé tó bá dé ọ̀run wọ́n fún wọn ní kí lorúkọ ṣe 73 virgin ni. It's just lie. Kò sí ọ̀run kankan níbi kankan àwọn bàbá wípé heaven and wípé bóyá ọ̀run lọ àtàbí kìíní èmi ò gẹ́gẹ́ bí kò sí èmi I don't believe that ìjọ pápátá ni òun ni wọ́n fi tàn àwọn èèyàn wa jẹ. Àwọn bàbá ńlá wa wọ́n bìlífù pé nǹkan téèyàn bá ṣe nílé ayé yìí ló máa gba èrè ẹ̀. Nǹkan táwọn bàbá ńlá wa ní tí wọ́n ní bìlífù ẹ̀ ni. Mo dẹ̀ máa ń sọ kinní kan all the time àwọn tó jẹ́ Kristẹni lára àwọn politician àwọn tó jẹ́ Mùsùlùmí lára àwọn politician even tó jẹ́ ti kóòtù òjíire any one of them, nǹkan tó jẹ́ àwọn nǹkan tí ìṣẹ̀báyé wa tó bá fẹ́ sọ èyí fún wọn kan sọ pé kán wá fi Ògún búra tàbí Ṣàngó búra tàbí kí ni orúkọ ẹ̀ tàbí Ayéláma wọn ò ṣe èmi náà wípé báìbù eléyìí tó jẹ́ kìrìsìtẹ́nì ni wọ́n máa ń lo báìbù wọn mọ̀ báìbù lágbádá gbogbo ẹni mo fi ń sọ pé kò sí nǹkan tó máa ṣe wọ́n the same thing àwọn tó jẹ́ Muslim wọ́n mọ̀ pé kò sí nǹkan tó máa ṣe wọ́n. Àwọn bàbá ńlá wa Ọlọ́run Elédùmarè la mọ̀ òun ló jẹ́ kí wa nǹkan táwọn and kò dẹ̀ sí bí gẹ́gẹ́ bí mo ṣe máa ń sọ pé síbi táwọn Elédùmarè sí ní gbogbo ló wà. A ò ní ẹ̀sìn rárá o àṣà àti ìṣe làwa ní. Tó bá jẹ́ ẹ̀sìn mo máa ń sọ kinní kan wípé tó bá jẹ́ pé religion wà ìgbà tó bá ti ń bíyàn sí ayé wọ́n ti kọ́ wípé kìrìtẹ́nì ni kó máa ṣe o ó tún máa wà lọ́wọ́ lára yìí Muslim ni kó máa ṣe o ó yẹ kó ti kọ́ wá látọ̀run gbà tí yàn ń bọ̀. Àwa ò ní ẹ̀sìn o a ò lẹ́sìn ẹ̀sìn méjèèjì yẹn organized religion tí wọ́n gbé bá wa wọ́n fi wá ba ilẹ̀ wa jẹ́ ni wọ́n fi wá divide wa ni. Àwọn tó jẹ́ ti kìrìsìtẹ́nì àwọn jíò tó jẹ́ pé tójú tó ń ra jẹ́ẹ̀tì tó ń live láti tó ń parọ́ fún àwọn èèyàn tó ń ṣe gbogbo ẹ̀. Èyí gbogbo ẹ̀ làwọn èèyàn lèèyàn rí náà. Pẹ̀lú gbogbo nǹkan tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ látijọ́ yìí even látijọ́ yìí how many àwọn jíò ẹlẹ́sìn mélòó ni wọn ló jáde síta tó condemn gbogbo atrocities tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀. How many ṣèyíkì ló ti jáde how many àfáà ló ti jáde ní ilẹ̀ kóòtù jíire tó condemn gbogbo genocide gbogbo wọn ṣe ń pa wọn yàn gbogbo wọn ló dákẹ́ because àwọn àtàwọn politician ìkan ògbé kan ni wọ́n pàdípàdí ni wọ́n àwọn ò lè sọ̀rọ̀ àwọn kan mọ̀ pé nǹkan tó ń gbé lọ́wọ́ pé irọ́ ló wà ń bẹ̀. How many àwọn oníṣẹ̀ṣe ló wà ní power? A lot of them are Christian, they are Muslim, but nǹkan àwọn bàbá ńlá wa tó jẹ́ ti wa tó dẹ̀ real òun làwọn fi ń ṣe agbára. Wọ́n ẹ̀tàn pátápátá ní ẹ̀sìn méjèèjì gbogbo ẹni mo ti sọ kò síbi tí mi ti rí ohun tó gan òun ní the main problem ta ní Áfíríkà àti ní kọ̀ǹtàtọ̀ kan Nàìjíríà àwọn tó ń pààyàn wọ̀nyí tó ń ṣe gbogbo ẹ̀ wá ṣe bí ẹ̀sìn náà ló kọ̀ sí ẹ̀. Until tó máa take religion out of lórí ilẹ̀ wa àmì ò mọ bí ìlọsíwájú ṣe lè wà kò yé mi because it's the main problem nǹkan tó ń dá wàhálà sílẹ̀ nìyẹn. That is the reason tí ọba wo àwọn China ò tolerate wọn. Àwọn China ò tolerate wọn. Even with me for èmi as a person mo believe pé China is not a religious country. It's not no. That is the thing tó jẹ́ kí wọ́n fi ṣe dáadáa wọ́n fi wà powerful because China tó wà powerful lé ní báyìí. Wọ́n dẹ̀ ti ń project pé in the next couple of years super power America gan claim wọ́n máa gbà lọ́wọ́ wọn ìdìbò tó ń bọ̀. Ara problem nǹkan tó dá wàhálà sílẹ̀ nìyẹn o and mo dẹ̀ máa ń sọ pé nǹkan méjì làwọn British fi lọ́ọ̀kì wa papọ̀ ẹ̀sìn àti kí lorúkọ ẹ̀ ẹ̀sìn àti tribalism those are the two. Is the root cause of the problem. Ẹ̀sìn tó ń gbé wá sórí ilẹ̀ èdè wa òun ni root cause. Òun ló ń cause division láìra kò jẹ́ káwọn èèyàn kí láàrin wọn kó láàrin family kan ọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀sìn yìí kan ó ń dá wàhálà sílẹ̀ ọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀sìn àjèjì méjèèjì tó ń gbé wá sórí ilẹ̀ wa. Mo dẹ̀ máa ń sọ kinní kan wípé kìrìsìtẹ́nì ìgbà wo ló wọlé kóòtù jíire ní 1842 ilẹ̀ kóòtù òjìrè dẹ̀ ti wà for thousands years. Àwọn tó wá tó ti kú ńgbà yẹn before kan tó gbé kí lorúkọ ẹ̀ kan tó gbé ẹ̀sìn kìrìsìtẹ́nì wá tàbí ẹ̀sìn kí lorúkọ ẹ̀ ẹ̀sìn mọ̀lẹ́ wá òkè ṣé àwọn yẹn ṣé wọn ò ní lọ sí àlùjọ káwọn èèyàn sọ jí kán wake up now káwọn èèyàn kéèyàn ṣe làákàyè ni ẹ̀sìn màlẹ́ wọ ilẹ̀ kóòtù òjìrè Ọ̀yọ́ mẹ̀yẹn ló gbà wọlé during the time of aláàfin tó wà ń bẹ̀ ńgbà yẹn Olúaṣọ òní aláàfin of Ọ̀yọ́ tó wà ń bẹ̀ ńgbà yẹn ṣèbí tú àwọn ará Málì ní during the time of Kankamusa àwọn ará Málì tó wá ń ṣe káràkátà àtàwọn ará Senegal àwọn ló gbé wọlé kóòtù àwọn ló gbé wọ Ọ̀yọ́ ní middle of 14th century. Tí wọ́n bá wo àwọn tó ń ṣe ẹ̀sìn ìmàle ní ilẹ̀ kóòtù òjìrè àwọn Fúlàní gan because àwọn Fúlàní believe lórí jihadis but àwọn ọmọ kóòtù òjìrè tó ń ṣe ẹ̀sìn ìmọ̀le most of them wọn gan they are just ignorance ló pọ̀ jù nǹkan tó gbà tó ń gbé wá nǹkan tó wà ní kùrá yẹn èdè lábúbáwá ni gbogbo nǹkan tó dẹ̀ wà nínú kùrá yẹn irọ́ pátápátá wọ́n ní bí irọ́ bá lọ lógún ọdún ọjọ́ kan ṣoṣo lòtítọ́ máa borí ẹ̀ irọ́ tó ti ń pa láti gbà yẹn irọ́ yẹn bá òtítọ́ ti ń jáde òtítọ́ ti ń fara wọn because àtìgbà tó ti di pé kùrá yẹn wọ́n lè convert ẹ̀ sí kí lorúkọ ẹ̀ sí Yorùbá àti kí lorúkọ ẹ̀ àti English àṣírí wọn ti ń tú wọ́n kàn wá fi wọ́n fẹ́ àwọn ilé tó ń dẹ̀ ń ṣe wọ́n fẹ́ fi wá ba ilẹ̀ ancestral land wa ni wọ́n fẹ́ fi gbà á ni because àwọn Fúlàní àtàwọn bíi Arab dájọ́ láti ṣe bí kan ni wọ́n. Ṣebí ara ìtàn tó ń tàn àwọn ará Haúsá náà nìyẹn gbà yẹn náà tó ń parọ́ fún wọn ṣebí ẹ̀sìn náà fi deceive wọn. Ẹ̀sìn ní the main problem because àwọn tó ọ̀rọ̀ ìpàyàn wọ̀nyí tó yẹ ṣebí ẹ̀sìn náà ni. Láti ìdírísì tí Donald Trump fi sọ pé wọ́n pa àwọn Kìrìsìtẹ́nì yìí pé kíní kan. Tẹ̀sí yóò bá wá níbi tó bá wá sórí ilẹ̀-èdè wa tó sí Kìrìsìtẹ́nì lọ́dọ̀ wa tó sí àwọn Mùsùlùmí lọ́dọ̀ wa kí ló máa fa wàhálà? Káwọn èèyàn jókòó káwọn èèyàn rò náà kí ló máa fa wàhálà? Àwa ń ṣe tiwa àwọn bàbá ńlá wa. Nígbà yẹn àwọn tó ń bọ Ògún àwọn tó ń bọ Ṣàngó àwọn tí wọn lọ sí ìlú míì wípé káwọn èèyàn wá máa bá wọn bọ nǹkan táwọn bàbá ńlá wa ń ṣe náà wọn ò gbé lọ sí ìlú bòmíì náà. ẹrú ọpọlọ náà fi wá kó wa o náà fi ẹ̀sìn méjèèjì o ẹrú ọpọlọ òun ló dẹ̀ dá wàhálà òun ni the main problem the root cause of the problem òun lẹ̀sìn méjèèjì yẹn òun ni o. Ìyálájé ẹ máa bẹ́tò yín lọ ẹ ṣe gan Ìyálájé ẹ ṣe
ètò wa ní àdìjọ nídìí o ẹ ṣe gan ni sà ẹ kú òun ẹ pẹ́ fún aláṣẹ ìgbìmọ̀ rẹ̀.
ẹ ṣe gan sir, thank you so much.
ẹ kú ètò náà ẹ kú ètò.
Okay daddy ẹ tẹ̀síwájú sà.
ẹ ṣe so ní àkótán ètò tèmi ká pera wa sákìyèsí ni pé ọjọ́ tí ń lọ ṣe ló yẹ kí gbogbo èèyàn pátápátá àti àjọmọ Nàìjíríà o àtàwọn tó lè jẹ́ bí ọmọ Cameroon anybody tó jẹ́ African, it is time for us to use the social media láti pariwo and expose this evil plot. It is an evil plot disguised as a means to protect a religious sect. That's not their intention. America does not protect, none of these imperial powers protect other people's interests, but theirs. Bíbélì tèmi sọ fún pé ó ní olè does not come for anything but to kill, to steal, and to destroy. This has been the hallmark of everywhere they've gone to. If I'm lying, look at Libya. If I'm lying, look at Iraq. If I'm lying, look at Afghanistan. And you want them to come, look at the Congo. Look at Somalia. Anybody that allows them into their ground, you're looking at disasters in that magnitude. We cannot allow that to happen in Nigeria. You know, Africans, I'm just appealing to all of us. Let us be very reasonable. This will be another moral lessons. Gbogbo owó tẹ̀ ń kó yẹn tán bá bẹ̀rẹ̀ ogun Nàìjíríà ẹ̀yin gan tẹ́ bá sáwá abroad ilé ayé ò lè gbà yín tẹ́ bá rò pé ẹ ti jí owó kan wá settle síbí they will eventually come and prosecute you because they know you are traitor number one and then they also prosecute you for whatever it is you're stealing. You've stolen from that country. Or àwọn ọmọ yín tó wà ń lu ìwọ̀n níjẹ́ gbádùn. So I think it is best. What is better is a radical change to the leadership direction in Nigeria. Maybe this threat will be a good call. But first of all, we need to stop the United States from getting into our land. That's the main thing first. Google games don't play Pelu, Nnamdi Kanu, no Nnamdi Kanu, all of those things. It's just a political plot. And the elites, all of them are involved in keeping Nnamdi Kanu where they want him. Just a few people being subservient, being servants to our foreign enemies, keeping us all in bondage with the instruments of government. It is time for us to rise up. That's why I'm very disappointed that not many youths are coming out to support the revolution that Sowore is screaming out. These are the best times to do this, so that our people can be free and to prevent this evil empire from coming to our land. Because America Baba Obeye, many to die, we want a radical change to our government without disturbing the peace of the people. We want a government that will liaise and form alliance with the three Sahelian countries, so that it become a bigger, massive geographical region that will remove the influence of France and the Imperial West, and then gaining resources, ensuring that we are at peace. And religion will not be dividing us again. This is the same religion they're using as a pretext to come into our land for their own personal self-interests. They're thieves, they're murderers, and they should not be allowed in our land. Actually, that's the main purpose for this talk today.
Okay, sir. Ẹ ṣé gan ni sir. Ẹ káàbọ̀ padà Daddy Ṣọlá tí ẹ ṣé gan ni. Ẹ kú ọjọ́ mẹ́ta sir. Ẹ ṣé gbogbo ilé wa ńkọ́. Mo wà lórí ìkúnlẹ̀ bàbá mi. Ẹ ṣé gan ni sir.
Ẹ má bínú sí wípé mo kọ́ tilẹ̀ kan.
Ó wà okay, ọmọ là ń sọ, ọmọ ó ṣe kókó ṣe pàtàkì sir.
Ẹ ṣé mà. Mo fẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ sí àwọn ọ̀rọ̀ tẹ́ ń sọ lẹ́yìn. Mo gbọ́ gbogbo àwọn ọ̀rọ̀ tẹ́ ń sọ pọ̀. Mo sọpọ́tì gbogbo nǹkan tí Dr. Abiodun Ojo sọ, which is very good. Because a mọ̀ pé tá a bá ní kí US wá sí Nàìjíríà kan wá ṣe nǹkan tí wọ́n ń ṣe, nǹkan á bàjẹ́, nǹkan ò ní rí bó ṣe yẹ kó rí. But Sherry, that country they call Nigeria, I think this one, iti dono ṣe yìí, is the èyí máa sọ pé mo dúpẹ́. Thank God that it happened. Yes, because tẹ́ bá mọ nǹkan tí àwa kan ti ṣe, tá a ti ṣe for this Tinubu, there is a lot of things tó jẹ́ pé
wọ́n ti gbé lọ sọ́dọ̀ Tinubu yìí that they did nothing. They paper gbé, everything gbé, that we went, we did everything because of the security that is going on in Nigeria. Go to this man, Tinubu, as if nothing is in that country. Because some of us think, okay, this thing that is happening, it needs to stop. Kò sí bó ṣe lè dúró, kò sí bí kíní, kò sí bí nǹkan tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ yìí ṣe lè stop. Whether we like it or not. Bí wọ́n á ṣe tún sọ, tí wọ́n á ṣe tún sọ, tá á ṣe tún lọ nìyẹn. That is what they would do. This Africa, Nigeria, they won't do anything. I like the kind of threat to one for one thing. Every threat to one for one, they start running. They are running. They believe that maybe I'm a to the Donald Trump today, if you carry anything, but he's doing it. That way, Venezuela that is pumping any boat. The power Senate, one that wants to put in Katonshi is legal. Go down alone. He did not even care. He's keep pumping, doing everything. And there is one law, don't you want let? That law here will cover anything to Banshi. And that law will cover him. Anything to Banshi, law yet you want let the Supreme Court don't you already be let to where? I know that is the law that he is looking, whether Congress or Senate or anybody, they try let his back it up, and he will do whatever they want to do and use that law to back it up. Anybody but is it a good threat? It's a very good threat to Nigeria. Nigeria is a sovereignty country. But countries to what? They don't care about their citizen. They don't care about everything. They don't care about it. What they only care about is the money. The money. Need security. That is why this insecurity in Nigeria can never stop. Can never stop. Kennedy Dr. ABIODUN, you saw a woman. So I listened to that woman that day. We listened to interview woman. That is the reason why that woman reject okay, because he can't do anything. And then they cannot do anything to the north. They cannot do anything to them. And that is the problem of that country. Right. That is where that problem of that country, if it was in 1 year, they are from there. There is a very new video. They sent that video yesterday to me. I see the video. To want bomb, to want Kwawero, to want to call loss. I want headsman. To want to come along. Now they are occupying that place close to Kwara. Anybody woman can sorrow lady. She's from Kwara. Omo, Bobo Continuan Jaguni. Is a very close way abroad. All that is that 10 years to go, when that is where the problem of that place they start. Well, I think about 10 years to go, the problem want to be a simple, want to walk anywhere, walk Lara. Only one of the governor of that state, because based on the statement, Dari. The governor of that state is aware. Yes. Oh no, so yes, because it's true. Because in country when one said discover one to discover. That is the reason why they are trying to let everybody grow the band. And sit down there when you talk to him. When you send anything to him, when I should be ẹni yẹn wá sọ fún mi pé well pé ó mọ nǹkan tó ń ṣe náà pé ó rí gbogbo ẹ̀ but he's keeping quiet. Why is he keeping quiet? Because he wants to win useless election. Because somebody want to win useless election. Want to jeopardize the life àwọn ènìyàn. Killing people anyhow. Everywhere there is killing. There will Castina, èèyàn gbébọn. There sọ wípé ṣé ẹ̀rí wọn ríran rí àwọn ènìyàn tí wọ́n fún ní amnesty. Àwọn èèyàn tí wọ́n ń pa àwọn èèyàn, they are giving them amnesty. Saying they are making arrangements, security arrangement with them, with the bandit. We now say that country will shop. Nígbà tí Donald Trump declare kí lórúkọ Chad ń bẹ̀ yẹn. Chad has sent a lot of mo tí wọ́n kà pé Chad ti send àwọn soldiers kí wọ́n lọ block gbogbo border wọn from their border to Nigeria because they don't want anybody to come in from Nigeria to because wọ́n ti gbọ́ pé àwọn ènìyàn ti fẹ́ máa sá kúrò ní Nigeria. No, wọ́n ti fẹ́ máa sá kúrò ní Nigeria máa lọ sí Chad. Is it a thing for US to invade Nigeria? No, but are we going to continue like this and fold our hand and be looking at these people that doesn't care about their citizens? They don't care about us. They don't care about their killing as long as the family wants it, okay. As long as their family is protected, as long as they move with their family, they marry comfort, be a year or whatever. The comfort follow them anywhere. Ìgbà tí mo wà ní US yìí ní ọlọ́pàá mi nígbà tó pè mí ní bọ́ǹbù tó ṣẹlẹ̀ ní Abuja ní yànyàngbà yẹn tó pè mí pé òun fẹ́ lọ ra ẹja ń bẹ̀ pé ọlọ́ọ̀mà ló yọ ọ́n. You see, that is àwọn òpójú bọ́ǹbù. Those are the kind of people yẹn máa rìn ẹ̀rù á máa bà yín. You don't know where to lè èèyàn àti gbé ẹsẹ̀ ní mọ́bí jẹ́ lè gbé ẹsẹ̀ sí. Gbogbo ìgbà yẹn jẹ́ ní ìfẹ̀rẹ̀fẹ̀rẹ̀. But now they have turned it to a job. Insecurity in Nigeria is now a job. And when you talk to this man that is president or talk to anybody, they do as if they don't see anything that is going on. The governor of every state do as if nothing is going on. Why? Because of the money they are seeing, because of the money they collect, not accountable for. They say it's for security. That if the US is coming on under is a Christian whatever, and they invade them. I know àti àmọ́ nǹkan tó ṣẹlẹ̀ ní Iraq, àmọ́ nǹkan tó ṣẹlẹ̀ ní èyí tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ káàkiri ní kí lórúkọ ibi ní àwọn Liberia Libya. We know what they did. We know what they did in Afghanistan. All those kind of things. Where is the same. But when you have some people that call themselves your own, and they didn't take us serious, many people they've tried their best. Even the so-called lawyer, everybody kept quiet. They did nothing because they too benefited from whatever that is going on in Nigeria. Yes, they benefit. Because if you don't benefit, you will talk. You will talk. Somebody now call me. You can't go anywhere. You people are just disturbing yourself. That this thing that you people are trying to do cannot go anywhere. Wow. Where is that only country here? But with this threat that I see that come, one of them into two and be running etasketa and come out and be talking. It won't sorrow nipa. Won't sorrow nipa killing. The killing that is going on in Nigeria. Nobody talk about it. They kept quiet. They won't allow any station, TV station to even talk about it. And do as if nothing is happening in that country because it's a normal thing. It's just like a normal thing going on. That nothing is happening. But it's happening in the village. They are taking over the village. They are killing them slowly, small, every time, every night. Once they occupy they are occupying those places. Small by small. Only one occupy there. We now say this kind of thing should continue because we are Christian, because we are Muslim, because we are doing tradition or whatever. No, it's not the Christian, it's the Muslim that is killing somebody, killing people. Even if they are killing their Muslim, that is they did. That is genocide. You are clearly, you are trying to erase the family. You erase them. Pastor that is a put my ebony. I send the video. I will send you one this man. I want to why he tried to collect that one of his town people on every day. US, they write letter, they call the guy, the Senate called the guy after everything. That is what. But she had Badraki US invading it. That well, or anything anyhow. But I pray that it should not, because it's not good for us. But this threat that is seen socially to put all of them into because they have been talking to these people in government. This government, the past government, they lose security in Nigeria as is a normal thing. Kidnapping is just a normal thing. I want to about one day they pay one fellow shaking and one more. They put them in prison. Somebody is standing to fight for to say one power when you they come and kidnap and take those people. And what's all we should pity them. I'm everybody to share it. It will enter people. But yes. I want to everybody that remain we start picking it. That is even that woman. She's from Kwara. They have entered everywhere. Last year. You see, that is what they have turned that country to. It's just a normal thing in Nigeria. It's just a normal thing, or see anything. But when you touch somebody that is close to you or close to, something is going on in that place called Nigeria. But this government, because they don't care, everybody is coming out to talk. Okay, talk that came out to type okay, if this government to insecurity in Nigeria, he only fight for fighting against bad government, bad clinical government. They will look on bad government. Start from this insecurity that is going on. Because it's everywhere. When there is insecurity, talole, because nítorí pé ẹ̀yin gbé inú ìgboro, ẹ mọ nǹkan tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ ní àwọn village wọn. Many people, because many of them inú ìgboro ni wọ́n ń gbé wọn mọ nǹkan tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ ní àwọn village wọn. Àwọn village ló ń forí kó náà. Dá fún yín ìyá alájẹ ẹ ṣé jàre.
Àṣẹ Èdùmàrè, ẹ ṣé gan ni bàbá wa. A dúpẹ́ lọ́pọ̀lọpọ̀. Ẹ pẹ́ fún wa o láṣẹ Èdùmàrè. A dúpẹ́, ẹ ṣé. Ẹ bá wa kí gbogbo ilé wa sá o.
Àbọ̀ ẹ ṣé mà.
Ẹ ṣé gan sà.
Ètò yìí ẹ pẹ̀lẹ́ sà. Mo mọ̀ pé ibi iṣẹ́ ni ẹ wà nípẹ́ parí ètò ìdálẹ̀ yìí. Bàbá wa Àrólé Oòduà, ẹ kú ọjọ́ láíláí. Ó ga o, kí lè ní yìí, èní yìí, ọjọ́ ajé àbí bẹ́ẹ̀ kọ́ ni, àwọn tiwantiwa lọ́jọ́ pípẹ́ mú wọ́n ń gbórí wọlé yìí, ọ̀rọ̀ náà ó gẹ́ ó rí bó ṣe rí ṣá. So mo ti change fúngbà díẹ̀ ni, fúngbà díẹ̀ mo rí bẹ́ẹ̀ ni, for now gbà wá bàbá ṣe rí, so mo bí sí díẹ̀ bá kan, so bó ṣe rí nìyẹn. Ẹ ṣé gan, ẹ bá wa kí gbogbo lé. Láti palẹ̀mọ́ ti ètò ti alẹ́ yìí, torí pé mi ò fẹ́ dá yín ní agada lọ púpọ̀, so ẹ bá wa
ẹ ṣé.
Ó gbà ẹ̀ nílẹ̀ jẹ́.
Mo fẹ́ point another thing because there are two things.
Ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ẹ wo fóònù yín sà.
It's okay. Àwọn nǹkan méjì ni mo fọkàn sí. Ọ̀nà àkọ́kọ́ ni pé CIA ti wò pé, you know what, the best way to deal with this African crisis, you know, what I mean by African crisis ni pé Africa slipping out of the grips of the United States and posing a threat to the dollar, so that and then giving backup to the BRICS nations as a very viable competitor on the world stage. Ni pé káwọn make sure pé wọ́n invade Nigeria, or threatening the government to change course and then find some dependable puppets other than this one's in there now, to be leaders of that country, and then offer to have boots on the ground in Nigeria for security of the government they put in place, not because of Nigerians, but to continue to plunder us and to prevent the BRICS from making inroads into these African nations. That's one. The other option, Donald Trump because this is a game. This like they're playing chess. They're playing chess, and now Nigeria is now a major pawn to use on that chessboard. And who are the people that are playing the games? Russia, China, India, North Korea on one end, and then Europe and America on the other. The entire Europe. In all of these things, pay attention to one thing. Britain doesn't say anything. The British government will never say a word openly like this on these situations. It always have to be France and the CIA through America. But underneath, then Germany too, a little bit. But Britain have always been mute publicly on these situations. And who were the people that put these things in place? Britain. Sherry, nǹkan tí bàbá wa tó kọjá yìí tó ní pé àwọn villages are not attack. Ẹ lọ wo nǹkan tí Ibrahim Traore ṣe bí 3 weeks ago or 4 weeks ago to remove Israeli posts from inside Burkina Faso and exposed the intelligence gathering operation. And this is in all of African nations. But the 3 Sahelian countries, they have closed down shop for Israel on those places. Only they were mapping out, only this is a military operation information grade, mapping out the resource sites in Burkina Faso and feeding it to the United States. That means Israel has people around. They're using whatever technology to determine where the natural resources are abound. And then they're using and sending those information. And then you're not surprised when you see the terrorists attacking those villages or those local remote areas. And like 6 weeks before that, one of our villagers gone, one was in Burkina Faso. We walked all the way to the Burkina Faso and told, people at Ouagadougou, but low our trucks come on sínú our villages wọn nínú gbombe wọn dẹ lọ lóru wọn wá lóru wọn lọ lóru àwọn ọmọ kan tán ṣe nù bẹ. This is how they're chasing people out of their regions, and in the dead of the night they bring in their miners, people that are mining grounds and taking resources in trucks that are military operators, or let me say, not custom officer will stop them because they're taking bribes. Not police officer will say anything because they take bribes. Not the army will do anything because they don't have nothing anyways. And our leaders will be quiet because they already paid. So when they chase people out of the communities, it's because they have mapped those areas as rich in these natural resources. So they're sending these terrorists, which are their ground soldiers. Because openly. They have these terrorists that they created. They have them also trained. They have them equipped. And then they tell them where to go. And this is what you see. So for somebody to say they're killing Christians, is because some of those operations have been undermined. Some of those operations have been closed down. Some of those things are being threatened by the developments happening in the Sahel. So what are they going to do? Israel is an active participant in all of these things. The state of Israel. So Christian, come on, I'm Muslim because I see people talking about, this Islamic thing. It is not. These people are not. They don't care. Israel is one of those countries that is doing all this crap in Africa. They're supplying all the high information, intelligence to the CIA and these Western corporations on what to do, where to go. And that's why you see America will always support Israel. They always give it weapons that it needs. They don't even ask questions, because they're getting paid. That's paid back for all the information they're doing, for all the work. This is a whole, and Ibrahim Traore is breaking that chain. And that's gonna cost them, and they would rather fight than accept, God's will. They preach God to us to accept our unfortunate situation, but they will not accept God's will because we're fighting back and taking sovereignty over our resources. No, they would rather fight to the death. But Goliath ni Goliath ń jẹ́ nígbà tó ń halẹ̀ mọ́ Israeli. David tí ó tó nǹkan lọ́lọ́run fi ṣẹ́gun ẹ̀, kì í ṣe láti ara ìbọn, kì í ṣe látara ọkọ̀, lára kànàkànà tí ó tó nǹkan lọ́lọ́run ti fi agbára hàn. As very weak as we might look, God will be mighty on our side. Tí ò bá rí bẹ́ẹ̀ ni kò ní jẹ́ ká débi tá a dé. It will allow them to continue to plunder us as they were doing. We'll be obedient constantly. But for God to have allowed this to happen and to have these things exposed is because ìgò wọn ti kún. Ọlọ́run ẹ̀san sì ṣetán láti gba ẹ̀san. Ẹ ṣé mà.
Ẹ ṣé gidi gan ni sir. Ẹ kú.
Okay, we must not keep quiet. We have to enlighten our people and let them know not to buy into their story. That story is false. The killing Christians is not. Yes, are Christians being killed? Yes. Are Muslims also being killed? Yes. Is it proportionate? Maybe not. You understand? But still, there is killing going on, whether Muslim or Christians. It doesn't matter. Because to these elites, religion doesn't matter. Your ethnicity doesn't matter. They're marrying among themselves. They're eating and dining among themselves. They're doing business among themselves. They're doing all things among them. They don't care about all these things you're talking about. And then they only use that religion to control. It's an instrument of control. So, more Nigeria, Papa Jula ọmọ Yorùbá. Ẹ má jẹ́ kí ẹ̀sìn, ẹ má jẹ́ kí wọ́n fi ẹ̀sìn yín kàn fi kó wa lómi ọbẹ̀. Ǹtọ́ bá gbàgbọ́ ni kó gbàgbọ́. If you're a Muslim, be a true Muslim. If you're a Christian, be a true Christian. Tí a pọ̀ oníṣẹ̀ṣe bí ìtàwọn bàbá wa ní. Àrọ̀ yín náà ẹ̀yin ẹ jẹ́ olóòótọ́ nínú nǹkan tá ń ṣe. Ṣùgbọ́n ẹ jẹ́ ká wo àwọn ọ̀tá wa yìí. Torí bóyá Mùsùlùmí ni ó tàbí Christian àbí oníṣẹ̀ṣe. Ọ̀tá kan ṣola nínú àwọn ará bíi àwọn olè ọ̀fọ́n yìí. Bíbọ̀ tó ń bọ́ tó ń fẹ́ wáì kò sí nǹkan tó fẹ́ wá ṣe o olè ni wọ́n o. Bíbélì tèmi sì sọ fún mi pé a thief comes to steal, to kill and to destroy. Mẹ́rẹ̀ẹ̀ta yẹn ò ní jẹ́ pé wọn mo gbà ládùúrà gbàdúrà wa.
Àmín. Wow, ẹ ṣé gidigidi gan ni sir. Ẹ kú ohùn, ẹ kú iṣẹ́ ọpọlọ yín kò ní dọ́bà. Ẹ̀yin èèyàn wa gbogbo a dúpẹ́ pé ẹ ṣé gidigidi gan ni torí ọ̀rọ̀ tó ń lọ lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ bí Trump ó ti gba pìtìpìtì ayé ó ti dé bá àti Gumi o àgbogbo wọn ti ń ganu sí kódà gan lẹ́yìn bàbá mi ìkan wọ́n pè mí wípé àwọn náà fẹ́ wá ganu sí bó ṣe ń lọ ní ọ̀dọ̀ wa ní orí ìkànnì wa ní bíbá ó yà mí lẹ́nu pé nípa ọ̀rọ̀ tó ń lọ lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ so ẹ máa rí i pé ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ àwọn èèyàn ni wọ́n ló ń ká wọn lára bó ṣe bá ṣe máa ń sọ ní bíbá yìí bẹ́lòmíì ṣe rí bẹ́ẹ̀ mi ṣe rí ló yàtọ̀ sí bí bàbá ẹgbẹ́ Dr. Abiodun Ojo báwọn ṣe rí ó lè yàtọ̀ sí àwọn bàbá méjèèjì yẹn náà báwọn náà ṣe rí ṣùgbọ́n ju gbogbo rẹ̀ lọ a ò ní rí ogun lágbára lọ́wọ́ torí pé ẹni tó bá wo àwọn orílẹ̀-èdè tí ogun ti ṣẹlẹ̀ rí wọ́n máa mọ̀ wípé
Ẹ wo Sudan after 15 years. Look at Sudan today. Look at Sudan today. And this is what Burkina Faso's Ibrahim Traoré said from the start. Only they make sure that Africans don't know anything but war. Growing up, look at our children. This is why in Burkina Faso today, those children, is trying, and now they are adjusting, trying to build their own country. But the children in Burkina Faso today, they are patriots. They will never like Ibrahim Traoré. They can never like him because he has already is building generations that is distrusting these imperial powers that already know the history of their father. Is being taught in their own language. They're teaching them the correct history, not the France history, not the version of the West, but the real history of Burkina Faso. They're teaching them in the school curriculum, and these children are growing up. They are not drinking milk. They're eating egg. They're eating food. They're not malnourished. These Western imperial powers always come on social media with all African children with kwashoko. All these NGOs will be raising money from Africans mostly, and then showing African children as though we're the ridiculous people in the world. Hello, one photo to my show. Tama show ọmọ tó ṣe dáadáa wọ́n show ọmọ funfun. Tama show ọmọ tó inú ẹ̀ ṣe tangbente torí ẹ̀ tó yàtọ̀ sí gbogbo aráyé. Ọmọ wo no show?
Ọmọ dúdú.
Ọmọ ìyá mi. And they make us, this is how they present us to the world. This is their modus operandi. This is the way they've always operated, to keep the African mind from functioning right. Thank God for what God is. I also thank God for people like Ibrahim Traore, Assimi Goïta, and Abdurrahman Chiani. I thank God for all our African leaders. I especially want to thank God for PLO Lumumba. That's a good professor of history, a man to the world, a man who must have been bribed. I'm not going to be surprised if they try to kill him too, because he's speaking the truth. This world dislikes truth. He's exposed, and I wish a lot of Africans will listen to what this man is saying. There are challenges also to Nigeria from the PLO. People should listen to that. And we should not just close our minds and be just one-way traffic. You know? Àwọn nǹkan òṣà tẹ́tí ṣe láti bí ọdún tí ò gbé yín. Gbogbo òṣà tẹ́tí ṣe láti bí ọdún mẹ́rin márùn-ún tí ò gbé wa. Gbogbo ọ̀nà tá a ti tọ̀ láti bí ogun tó gbójú ojú pàbó ojú kan náà là ń já padà sí. Ṣé kò yẹ ká mú nǹkan míì ṣe? You know, are people, you know, and I know that you know, we are wise in our counsel, but I think it is time that we all speak in one voice, especially on this particular issue, that nobody wants any foreign intervention, not an American intervention in Nigeria. Please, we don't. Our people don't want it. We're not asking for it. We didn't beg for it. Leave us in peace. Let us deal with our own problems. Let the problem of Nigeria be solved by Nigerians. The same language they don't like Ibrahim Traore saying, that Burkina Faso will solve its own problems and that we will feed ourselves. We're not coming to beg. We're done with kneeling. We will take our own future in our own hands. We're not lazy. We're not dumb. We're not stupid. Let us be like that too. And I'm very thankful that this threat came out to the leadership in Nigeria and to the government that thought that business will always be the same. They thought it's always going to be like this forever. I know, for those of you who are wise, you will see the handwriting on the wall. That it's either you're going to serve your people or something is going to happen. Either way, you're not going to escape it, and the wrath of God will come upon you anyways. The wrath of God and the blessing of God. If you've been good, He will bless you. If you've been wrong to your people, the Lord will deal with you according to His will. Ẹ
ṣeun gan ni bá, ẹ ṣe gan ni, ẹ fún wa láṣẹ Èdùmàrè. Ẹ̀yin aráalé, adúpẹ́dúpẹ́ ẹ̀yin ìyá wa àti bàbá wa. Ìyá wa Ọmọdúnní Adé, ẹ sọ pé ẹ rí notification. Ẹ wo àwọn alágbára ni ẹ jẹ́ kán máa ṣe nǹkan tó wù wọ́n. A máa tún jáde ní ọ̀la lágbára lọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run ní dédé aago 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Ẹ jọ̀wọ́ ẹ darapọ̀ mọ́ wa. Tẹ́ ẹ bá ti subscribe, ẹ lọ́bẹ̀ Ìyálájé Global Talk Show. Ẹ lọ bá mi subscribe. Tẹ́ bá kúrò ní ọ̀dọ̀ mi, ẹ bá mi yà lọ sí ọ̀dọ̀ ọ̀gá mi. Ọ̀rọ̀ lẹyẹ ń gbọ́. Ẹ bá wa subscribe, kẹ́ like, kẹ́ share, kẹ́ comment. Tẹ́ bá ní nǹkan tẹ́ fẹ́ ká dá sí, ẹ jẹ́ ká mọ̀. Bó ṣe rí nìyẹn. Ní rí jù báyìí lọ ní ti alẹ́ yìí. Lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí adúpẹ́dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ àwọn bàbá wa méjèèjì tí wọ́n pè wọlé. Ìkúnlẹ̀ mi rèé o, amóore o. Àárí yín pẹ́ o, láṣẹ Èdùmàrè, ilé àti ọ̀nà yín kò ní dàrú. Ẹ̀yin aráalé, ẹ̀yin bàbá, ẹ̀yin màmá mi gbogbo, ẹ kú gbogbo ìgbà, ẹ kú àdúrótì, ẹ kú fi Ọlọ́run tẹ́ rí nínú ayé wa. Àjọṣe wa kò ní bàjẹ́ láṣẹ Èdùmàrè. Ẹ ṣé gidigidi gan ni. Tó bá di ní ọ̀la, a máa tún dá orúkọ yín láti lè kí yín dáadáa torí àsìkò wa ni mi ò ṣe lè, torí tẹmọ̀ tí tá bá ti ní àwọn àlejò báyàn láti máa fàsìkò ṣòfò torí pé tẹ bá rí dáàdì ṣì wà níbi iṣẹ́. I did not get your no. I know. So àwọn alágbára ni ẹ máa bá wa wò lóòrèkóòrè. Ẹ ṣé tí gbọ́, ẹ jọ̀ọ́, ẹ ṣé. So bàbá ẹgbẹ́, ìkúnlẹ̀ mi rèé o, ẹ̀gbọ́n mi àtàtà, mo wà lórí ìkúnlẹ̀ sà.
Ẹ ṣeun.
Ẹ ṣé gidigidi gan ni sà. Ẹ kú ìfọ́mọ ènìyàn ṣe, ẹ kú ìfẹ́ ènìyàn, ó boni lára ju aṣọ lọ. Mo dúpẹ́ o. Mo mọ rírì yín, amóore o. ojú òní tì yín láéláé ẹ ní jábọ́ ẹ ní dẹni àná ẹ máa mọ̀ ṣe ni lọ́dọ̀ Ọlọ́run àwọn ọmọ yín wọ́n máa dàgbà nínú oore ọ̀fẹ́ Elédùmarè ni o láṣẹ Èdùmarè gbogbo dáadáa tẹ fẹ́ fún wọn ó máa ṣẹlẹ̀ ó dẹ̀ máa ṣojú ẹ̀mí yín ẹ bá wa kí mọ́mì ẹ bá mi kí handsome young man ni Tọ́pẹ́ àdúrà àti gbogbo ilé lápapọ̀ ẹ ṣé gidi gan ni sà.
ẹ ṣé mo dúpẹ́ Ìyálájé náà kí yín pé ẹ kúṣẹ́ kò ní sú yín kò ní rẹ̀ yín kàkà kó rẹ̀ yín ṣe ni kẹ́ mú rẹ̀ lọ sódò kẹ́ fi ṣọmẹja lóore. Mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ gbogbo àwọn àtàdà pọ̀ mọ́ lórí ètò lónìí pàápàá jùlọ gbogbo àwọn bàbá wa tán bá wa dá sétò ẹ ṣeun o ẹ kú àdúrótì Ọlọ́run á nífẹ̀ẹ́ yín gbogbo ẹ̀yin tí ẹ ń gbọ́ wa ẹ̀yin tí ẹ ó mọ̀ gbọ́ wa lọ́jọ́ míì ẹ̀yin tí ẹ ń bá wa gún ètò Ọlọ́run á dúró tì yín o ẹ ò ní dáṣà ayé yín àmì yóò sì gbà ẹ ṣeun ẹ kú fẹ́ ní kó tó di pé a ó mọ lọ mo fẹ́ lo ètò yìí àkókò yìí òní ọjọ́ ajé ọjọ́ kẹta oṣù kọkànlá ọdún 2025 yìí láti sọ pé ó ti di ẹlẹ́kẹta lónìí tí mo wá sórí ètò Ìyálájé talk show yìí tí mo ti sọ pé àwọn kan release statement lórí olóyè Chief Sunday Adéyẹmọ Ìgbòho Òòṣà tí wọ́n ní pé ó gba 50 million àbí 50 billion bóyá náírà níbi dọ́là ni wọ́n ní I cannot recall mo sì mọ̀ pé there was a time a while back kó tó di pé wọ́n ti lọ àtàkì olóyè àbí nǹkan kan tí àbí bóyá lẹ́yìn ìgbà táwọn àtàkì Gani Adams Ààrẹ Ọ̀nà Kakanfò to make something allegation also about 50 million. And now for this report to have come out in social media and and these people they actually mention name. And to so Soludo àbí nani ó sọ pé wọ́n offer Nnamdi Kanu ní 500 billion pé ó refuse to give up on Biafra. Pé ṣùgbọ́n wọ́n fún olóyè Sunday Igboho ní 50 million àbí 50 billion ní and that he took the money. Èmi sọ pé bí ẹnìkan pé mi ò gbàgbọ́. Ṣùgbọ́n it is a public allegation and I personally expect him to refute it. Tá bá sọ pé kí ló dé tí mo sọ bẹ́ẹ̀ àti pé ṣé ó tọ́ kó lóye dáhùn torí ìgbà mi wà wọ́n ní tí wọ́n ní you don't argue with a fool because people will not know the difference. Abi? In this particular instance, this is not about just being foolish. This is an allegation that damages the character and integrity and the whole legacy of being a Yoruba champion that Oloye Igboho can believe he stood for. So if this is his legacy as a champion of the Yoruba nation and the freedom of the Yoruba people, and this allegation goes directly to the heart of that, by all reasons, whether it is legal, moral, just reasons, it is his responsibility to respond. And why do I know that he understands? When he was falsely alleged or accused through a leaked tape of having hands in what happened to the Chief Justice of Nigeria, Chief Bola Ige, he did not only responded, he also asked his attorney to take legal action to correct that error. This is of the same magnitude, if not more, because we're talking about his whole entire legacy. This is the legacy he has, because he chose a path of Yoruba nation that most people, including myself, left our private, personal, lives to come into the movement and became a whole movement. And that legacy is what is known by today. Before Yoruba nation, Sunday Igboho was Sunday Igboho, we understand. He was successful and all that. But when Yoruba nation came, his entire life trajectory changed. And this is the legacy he must now contend with. So, if those allegations are false, it is right for Chief Sunday Adeyemo Igboho not to go through a proxy, maybe some other media people or anybody. It has to be Chief Sunday Adeyemo Igboho that refutes such allegations in the media. Print media, kò náà ní nǹkan kan, oníkan náà ti ń ṣe náà yẹn ti ń ṣe press release, oníkan náà ti ń ṣe media tán pé Yorùbá World Media àbí any other social media group, oníkan náà yẹn ti lọ sí BBC and stuff, tán ti BBC media, she understand? And then refute. It is compulsory that he refutes that allegation. And I want more. Based on his legal counsel, lawyer he should not make any public statement on this. Then his attorney must take legal action against those people that are falsely accused him, if and only if those allegations are false. Not only will I be speaking, I'm putting Mega Rally also on notice. Yoruba Nation Diaspora Mega Rally and all the names in there, major names, because it will be connected to the next thing I'm going to say. And I'm sure they will not like what is going to happen, what's going to start happening here. So, and then if they want to take me to court, because I'll start mentioning names and I'll be claiming my facts, I'm now entitled to believe what I want to believe. If Oloye does not condemn, until they refute the allegation, that means he's telling me to believe what I want to believe. Take action. I will refer them to these tapes. I mean, keep recording. So these things they are not erased. So the 3 last shows will show the consistency. So automatically, we're going to meet at that point. Because some records are not going to be shielded. I'm going to be open and I'm going to be very clear with our people.
So, ọ̀rọ̀ láti gbọ́ yìí o, ẹ̀yin ará lé, ẹ ṣé gan lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí ẹ̀gbọ́n mi ìbàfẹ́gbẹ́ Dr. Moses Abiodun Ojo, a máa rí yín pẹ́ o láṣẹ Èdùmàrè, ọpọlọ yín kò ní jọba, ẹ ṣé gan ni sà, ẹ bá wa kí gbogbo lé sà.
Mo kí gbogbo alẹ́ kan sí, ẹ ṣeun, ẹ má bínú mo kàn wò pé ṣe rí tèmi bá tẹnu tí n bá dúró lórí nǹkan kan, I always stay on course. I like not to be distracted. Ló yẹ kí n sọ àwọn nǹkan tí mo sọ yẹn. I've been very consistent for the last 3 talk shows. And ní àkótán mo kí gbogbo alẹ́ kan sí pé ẹ ṣeun, ẹ kọ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe darapọ̀ mọ́ wa, ẹ bá wa pín ètò, ẹ jẹ́ kó kàn tó yẹ kó kàn lára. Títí tí a ó pàdé, k'Ọlọ́run kó ṣọ́ wa.
Ó dàárọ̀ gbogbo lé. Ó dàárọ̀ sà, ẹ ṣé sà.